Hey guys, happy Sunday. I hope you guys are having a glorious Sunday. I hope that you had a fabulous week. And for those of you who celebrated Thanksgiving, I hope that you had a beautiful time with your friends and family. I know that I had a wonderful time. Riley had a great time. This was probably one of the best Thanksgivings I've ever had. But before we dive into all of that, if you don't know who I am, I'm Tara with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. You can learn a little bit more about me by checking out that information box down below, maybe checking out my website, kittensweightsandtarot.com, maybe checking out my witchy shop, Desert Cauldron, over on Etsy, and maybe looking for ways to help support the channel first and foremost by becoming a subscriber. So thank you to all 11,500 plus subscribers that I have. I love you guys. Thank you so very much. And thank you to my mighty moderators. You know who they are because they wield the wrench of destiny next to their screen name. And also thank you to all of you who are a supporter, my YouTube members, so Kayla and Nancy, Jonathan Cleese and Jolene, Duality Tales, Sea Captain 8611, Costalini. Thank you. And those people have a little colored kitty head next to their screen name, so you know who they are. And they have special emojis they get to use because they are a YouTube member. So thank you guys so very much. And to all of my patrons who have some good stuff coming out tomorrow, the 1st. That's usually when we pump out all the stuff for the month. And I want to thank Lily and Dana and Jamie and Kayla and Sugna Baby, Brandy, Brian, Palu, Crystal, Easy Does It, Joel, Linda, Casey Gritter, Oz, and Ashley. Thank you guys so very much. But yes, tomorrow is the 1st of December, and it is the final month of 2025. So that is something we're going to get into in a little bit, saying goodbye to 2025. I know we still have a whole like 31 days before then, but it seems like everything is just flying by so quickly these days. So yeah, let's see. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. All right. Oh, wow, we got fishes on the screen here. Let me just get this computer going here. Oh, no. Well, computer no worky either. So I'm sure you guys have some lovely comments, but I will see them in a moment. All right. So let's talk a little bit about Thanksgiving here in the States. Okay, well, this is off. Okay, let me try to log into the computer again here. Okay. One bag, infinite possibilities. Sorry, a little bit of technical difficulties. My computer says that we don't have internet. I know this is not true. Oh, well. You have to enable it. Oh, where do I do this? Upper right-hand corner. It says connect to internet, connect to Wi-Fi. It is on Wi-Fi. I see it. Yeah. Hold on. We're having some difficulties here. I need that plug. Okay. Hold on, you guys. We'll get it going. Lila Phoenix says hi. Hello. She's saying hello to Riley. Mike Green says love from England. Hello, skis. All righty. Let me just turn off this video here. Okay. Wow, there you guys are. Yay! And Amain says hi. Hello. So yeah, okay. This past week, very busy, lots of stuff going on. Obviously prepping for the end of the month and all the wonderful things that I put out on the 1st of the month. So like I said, December 1st coming up quickly. So on the 1st of the month, I always put out my newsletter. So if you are not subscribed to my newsletter, you might want to get subscribed. It's just a little magical witchy newsletter, little DIY projects. There's just a little blog talking about YouTube channels that I'm watching, books that I'm reading, crystals that I'm using. There's tea recipes. There's sometimes food recipes. There's stuff to do with the kids. There's all kinds of things in there. And I don't play the spam game. So all you get is just a newsletter at the first of the month. So, so there's that. And then there's stuff that I put out for my YouTube members and for Patreon on the first. So like I said, if you want to go check those things out, see if that interests you. But yeah, like I said, this past week has been busy. We had Thanksgiving here in the United States. And I am one of the people that does celebrate Thanksgiving. And I went over to my best friend's place. My best friend, Tone, I've known him since 7th grade. So this is like 1993, 1994. So it's been a hot minute. He is my brother from another mother. His wife is my sister from another mister. I've known her since I was 18. I am godmother to all their boys. And so we went there. We went across the street to her sister's house because, well, that's usually where if everybody's going to get all crazy, we'll do it at Terry's house. So, so we're there, and there was so much good food. I mean, I've had some pretty good Thanksgiving food. That was like, I went to the 5-star restaurant heaven of good Thanksgiving food. There was like really good turkey and ham. There was collard greens. There was stuffing. And usually I'm not a stuffing fan. That stuffing was good. There were 2 different types of mac and cheese. There was, I think somebody brought in a lasagna. I had brought my Japanese beef curry and some rice. Somebody else had made egg rolls, and there was a lot. And then the dessert table, the dessert table just kind of like spread throughout the house. Somebody brought like 6 pies, and everything that was there was made from scratch. So everybody brought something that they had made. So no boxed nothing there. So there was peach cobbler. There was peach pie. And then there was, cherry pie. There was lemon box cake, and then I think there was also lemon pie. I had brought my moose farts. If you guys don't know what that is, check out the last live chat. There was, and some fruit salad. And again, normally I'm not like a fan of fruit salad either, but that was like, I ate it, and Tony and Tamika were looking at me, they're like, look at Tara's face. Look at Tara's face. I was like, oh my gosh. My eyes are rolling back in the head. It was so good. So I had a great time. People were watching football. I'm not like super into football, but I, was hanging out with everybody, and we were just chit-chatting and having a good time. We could feel the spirit of my godson there. So we were all talking about him. And my friend Tamika finally opened this box that she had gotten from the mortuary right after, he had, the funeral. And she says they, had been a little, obviously they've been very sad. So they hadn't opened that box, but they finally opened this little box of something that the mortuary had made for them. And it was this glass sphere, and inside the sphere was like a little glass rose, but around the rose, it looked like a beautiful glittery galaxy. And that was actually part of Tamarin's ashes. And so, Tamarin is the galaxy. I thought that was beautiful. So they put that next to his great grandma's urn. And I also had a chance to go upstairs to his bedroom. I hadn't really, been in his bedroom, since he passed. But his dad was like, you might want to, go in. We haven't moved anything. We kind of left it the way he had it, back in August. So there was this beautiful black lacquer box on his desk. And it had this like floral mother of pearl inlay. and that contains the rest of his ashes, so that he's in his bedroom. So, I was like, hey, kiddo, I said, feel free to come down here. And I was like, definitely, you're going to want some of Auntie's Japanese beef curry, because he was Mr. Japan everything. He was teaching himself Japanese. He has samurai swords. He has manga and anime, everything. And just, it's like, that was his whole world. He wanted to go to Japan someday. So I was like, Auntie's got you. But yeah, we definitely could feel his spirit. It was very jovial and happy, and everybody sharing stories. And his grandfather, Tamika's dad, had a beautiful prayer, before we all got down to eating. So everybody gathered around the table and held hands, and he had a lovely prayer for everybody who has passed this year, but also being very grateful for all the people that could make it, and just grateful for all the things that we have, and for all the people who are healthy, and that we are able to enjoy, so much good food, and that we all, that we're all taken care of. So I thought it was really nice. And yeah, like I said, I feel like that was the best Thanksgiving ever. And I don't want to feel like I'm like dissing my family or anything, because I've had a good time at my family's Thanksgiving, but Thanksgiving's always been kind of like okay, now we're ready for Christmas, so it's like, okay, we have, I don't know, we had our Samhain, Halloween, and then we just kind of like jumped over to Yule and Christmas, and we just kind of like bypassed Thanksgiving. So, I mean, we have one, but there's like no fanfare. And this one felt like warm family connection, good conversations, and of course, great food. And yeah, I'm glad everybody got to meet Riley. So they all approved, and Tamika's father says, "You bring him back next time." I was like, okay. So I'm glad everybody approved. Let's see. Lila says, Tara would love some sangria. You know what? I brought some to the party. It didn't get open. Okay, so here's the things that Auntie Tara had brought. I brought my Japanese beef curry, along with some rice. I brought my moose farts. I brought a couple of store-bought, there was sangria, and then there was like a port that I brought. But then I brought my homemade plum vodka. And at first people were like, that's a little sketch. And I was like, no, it's okay. I was like, I tasted it. I'm not dead. So I think it's okay. Turns out everybody loved it. I was like, take as much as you want, because I'm not a huge liquor drinker. So it got emptied quite a bit. I still brought some home, but it was really good. It's so plummy and delicious, and you don't feel it till you feel it. It's like you don't know how potente it is until you're like a few sips in, and you're like, whoa, there was alcohol in that. So, but yeah, technically it's 80 proof. So let's see. Liren 44 Patrick says, hi, space travelers. Hello, my friend. How are you? And let's see. Dolly is here and says, love from India. Well, hello, my friend. Hello. Hund Wanderer says, chosen family are the best. Yes. Soul family. And Lilith says, no, I mean, sangria done right, like a fruit salad drenched in wine. Oh, well, I've never had that then. Well, I feel I'm missing out. I'm going to have to try some someday. Let's see. Hund Wanderer says, Charlie approved of your plum vodka. Oh my gosh, you guys. Did I share that story with you guys? No, I think this was like leading right up to Thanksgiving. Oh, okay. I have a story involving Charlie to share with you guys. Dali Shamalahan says, what is your take on life? How do you see it when it is in front for you? So for me, life is all about the present. And I feel, again, this is all personal. So I'm not saying like this is how it is. I feel it's doing our best in the present to not only, see our shadows for healing, but also enjoying the human experience, understanding what part of us is making decisions or reacting through our ego, while at the same time understanding like what part of it is the soul. And I feel like not in order to achieve balance, not getting so caught up in one or the other, and meaning maybe not fully delving into the ego for me personally, although that might be different for somebody else's journey. Maybe their mission here on earth is they've been so like soul based that they're like, I want to live a lifetime where I'm 100% ego because I want to understand what that's like, and maybe the soul is on that mission. Maybe for other people, it's like, well, I've been, ego based in whatever form they took in whatever galaxy or universe or dimension they came from. It's like, and I want to live a very heart-based, very soul-based life this go around. But for me, I think in my life, so I feel like the answer is going to be different. If there's 8 to 9 billion people on this planet, you're going to get 8 to 9 billion different answers. But I feel like, I want to do my best to understand my soul's mission and purpose, and do my best to understand my shadow and my light, and how much that is reflected in who I surround myself with, and the words that I choose, and how I react, and the thoughts that fill my head, and I guess just learn the best that I can. And if I, let's say I'm so much in my woo woo, like, oh, I'm up in the ethers, I feel like I'm missing out on my chance for the very 3D experience that I came to have. And although, yes, I feel like there's many layers to that. Some people would say, well, I feel like we had no choice here. And some people said, I feel like we do have a choice here. And some people said, I feel like I was in a reincarnation trap. And, and kind of what I've learned is that all things are true. There is no one truth, really, because we are in such a multi-dimensional plane, that all things are true. However, everybody within their own reality is experiencing their own truth. And in their reality, there may only be one truth. So there might be 9 billion truths, but it's all based on what the soul needs to understand during that lifetime. And I'm pretty sure I don't know if I made any sense with that, but I tried to make some sense. So thank you. Great question. Let's see. Oh, Delisha. Sorry. Okay. Sorry, Delisha. Oh, actually, that's a beautiful name. Beautiful. Lilith is like, girl. Delisha says, beautiful. It's deep. You're right. People with high ego really don't fit with humans like us. Well, it's just all varying experiences. And since we're all part of that collective consciousness, we're all part of that oneness. All these individual experiences are basically up there for all of us to tap into, without directly experiencing it firsthand for ourselves. So it's very interesting. Okay, so I wanted to tell a little Charlie story. So, okay, my plum vodka. I had like four or five plums that I cut in half. I pitted them, and then I put them in some Tito's vodka, which is like 80 proof. And I have had that steeping in the pantry in the dark for a while, since July 20 something. And so then, now that it's several months later, I strained it a few times, got all the plum out, all the plum bits, so that it went into a really nice container, and then I corked it. And I squished out all the juice that I could from these plums, but obviously there's still a little bit of vodka in it. And I'm so used to putting my food scraps out into the forest, mixing it up in the soil, helping the nature, basically. And I didn't think when I put vodka soaked plums out into the forest. And so then our friend's dog that she is fostering well, he came into the house, but he kept pacing around. And although he's very active, you guys have seen him before. He's a very energetic puppy, you know. But he was just like marching around, and I was like, what is up with him? And so then I saw him run into a door, and then it seemed like he was like kind of off kilter just a little bit, and I was like thinking, wait a minute. I was like, did he? Oh my gosh. And so he was pretty drunk. Yeah, he would get up and he would like want you to hold him, and I hold him, and then his like legs would start to just like slide out from underneath him, and he would instantly go to sleep. He's like, and I'll be like, oh my gosh. And then at some point, like his paws were around my neck, and he was like licking my face, like, I love you, man. I was like, what? Oh my gosh, Charlie, stop eating the forest food. You weren't supposed to eat those plums. He's fine now. He slept it off. We gave him some extra water, food, so he stayed hydrated and that he could just sober himself up. He's all better now, but I think he'll be staying away from any forest plums. And next time, I'll just throw them in the trash. I just won't put them in the forest. Sorry about that. Okay, let's see. Delicious. OMG, it seems like you're into spirituality. I understand each and every word you said. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. And Lilith was like, oh no. Delicious, thank you so much for the compliment. I really admire you as a person. Well, I thank you. And I feel, and I've said this many times before, I am so honored that on Sundays, I get to hang out with you, beautiful people. Like, even though I can't physically see you, I feel each and every one of you, and it's amazeballs. So thank you. It is an honor. And see, Patrick says, it's amazing lately. I start to have no more and more a crystal body now, so things are a little different. It's more feeling it instead of the physical body things. It's more energy-based living. Ah, interesting. You know, Patrick, I have felt like the veil between the sleeping or the closed-eyed world and the open-eyed world are like merging, because everything almost every night, my dreams, what's going on in my dreams is things that are happening during the day, my waking time. And although I've had, you know, some people call them like premonition type dreams, I don't feel it's premonition. Sometimes I feel it's like wherever my dream left off, my waking state continues. It's very interesting. And a lot of what I would normally see with, let's say, my third eye is now with my 3D eyeballs. It's a very unique time. I will say that. And a lot more, I don't want to say control, but a lot more visceral. My energy is a lot more visceral. Or tangible. It's interesting. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe I'll be able to explain it at a different time when I understand it a little bit better. Delisha says, I have my exam in the morning. It's 3 a.m. here in India, and I am listening to you. Oh my goodness, get some sleep. You want to be well rested for your exam. And by the way, I wish you all the luck on your exam. I'm sure you'll do just fine. S Light 79 says, hi, hello, welcome. Hey, Time Harvest is here. It says, I missed you. Hi, everyone. Hi to all and everything. Well, welcome, my friend. And Lyran 44 says, it's almost the same. I have that too. It's fun. Exactly. And Delisha says, it's called the third eye, I guess. Yes, well, yeah, some people would say the third eye chakra is here. But for me, it's like the inner sight. It's almost like things being transposed over physical reality. Let's see, Time Harvest says, I tried weed and shroom for the first time 3 days ago. At once or separately? Delisha says, awakening of the third eye chakra. Yes. And Time Harvest says, come on, gang, let's thumbs up this video. Aw, thank you. All right. So Okay, here's what we have cooked up for today. I will do, I'll pull a few cards for this upcoming week. And I actually want to make a tea um, with you guys because my stomach hurts a little bit, and I need the remedy of some of my little herbal allies over there to help me out. And I have a really good recipe. Lilith, I'm going to be using your recipe. I'll try not to pass out during the live chat, but it's much needed right now because I feel like, oh, my tummy. So I'm going to make myself a nice herbal tea, and while we're over there, we are going to create a herbal incense for 2025. So in 31 days, we're going to be saying peace out to the Gregorian calendar version of 2025. And we're going to be welcoming in 2026. But of course, there are cultures around the world who have different dates that they observe for what they consider the new year. For some of our pagan ancestors, the new year was kind of right around Samhain, right around Halloween, as you know, we're leaving the darker times of autumn and going into the darkest part of the year. You know, we'd be starting that brand new year. For some people, it's more of a lunar calendar. Since I am considered a day keeper or a Mayan astrologer, I look more at the Venetian Venus calendar, which is a 260-day calendar. It's called the Tzolk'in calendar. And so the new year would be around like February, March. It's pretty close to the Lunar New Year. And we're actually going to be beginning a brand new 13-year cycle. So there's bigger cycles. There's like 13-year cycles, and then there's 100-year cycles, there's 1,000-year cycles, and like 2,000 and 10,000-year cycles. And back when everybody was like, oh my gosh, the world's about to end because the Mayan calendar ended. No, that was just the end of a great cycle. It didn't mean the end of the world. It was just the end of that calendar, end of that cycle. We are actually in the year right now of 13 Ich, and 13 is like one of the higher, more mystical numbers, the highest number that you can go in, you know, let's say a 13-year cycle. And it's considered one of, you know, that you could tap into for change and growth. And it's like the number relating to one's soul and connecting to God. And so, Ich is represented as the hurricane. It's like the winds of change. You could say it's Gemini on steroids, where, you know, it could be a gentle breeze or it can go real cray cray. But really what it's meant to do is to cleanse, to purify, to out with the old, in with the new type theme. And so when in February, March, where technically energies overlap, so it's not quite like the Gregorian calendar where we say, okay, January 1st, we're in a brand new year, brand new energy. Well, the Mayan and many other cultures believe that some of that energy seeps into the following energy. So just like yesterday, we might still be feeling some of the effects of yesterday, but still in this day, you know, today's energy. And then tomorrow we'll be feeling a little bit of today's energy as we're also feeling tomorrow's energy. So, you know, everything just kind of overlapping, almost like I feel that the dimensions overlap, you know, is kind of how they see it. So the new year for the Tzolk'in calendar we'd be going into is one Manik. And Manik is the sign for government, authority, power, hierarchy. And so one is a brand new beginning. And so if Ik is clearing everything out, purifying things, you know, things that no longer serve us or serve the world or serve your life or, you know, whatever, then we're going into this new phase of starting anew. Like, what does power look like now? What does hierarchy or government or, you know, authority look like now in your personal life, perhaps in your family, perhaps in your community, or maybe in the world? You know, it's big changes ahead. But you need 2025, 13 Ich to help to sweep it out. So very interested to see what 2026 shall bring, and we'll definitely do a reading as we get closer to that. But you know, we're barely here at the end of November. We're here at the 30th, so I am going to be pulling a few cards just for this upcoming week. Like I said, I'll go into the kitchen, make ourselves a tea, and then let's make an herbal incense together. So it's not just going to be me, but I would like input from you as you tap into your heart space, your higher self. Like, what are you feeling? The energies that you're feeling. And if you're not quite sure, like what type of herbs you would want in that incense, let me know the energy that you're feeling, and I can probably find an herb that matches that energy. And then together, we'll make basically our little KWT live chat goodbye 2025 incense. You know, being able to honor everything that 2025 taught us. You know, even if we consider a year like, oh my gosh, that year was insane in the membrane. There's a lot of things that we can learn from that too. If we're very unsettled by something, then, you know, how did it help us to become stronger? How did it help us to grow? How did it help us to give us new perspective? To what emotions did we become more tapped into? What emotions had we been putting by the wayside and stuffing down? And did they come to the surface? How did they come to the surface? What new people came into our life? There's a lot of questions, a lot of journaling questions we could ask ourselves, instead of maybe putting a blanket, you know, statement on a year and saying, that year was meh. You know, there's a lot that we could learn from it, even if we consider it a meh year, or maybe that year was like really awesome for some people, you know. We'll see. Okay, so let's see, what decks do I want to use? Well, it's not snowing outside, but I wish it were. However, I will still use my winter season tarot for this upcoming week, and my Winter's Embrace Oracle created by my friend V, or V Love and Crystals. And do I want to use any other deck? Me, not for now. Okay, alrighty. Okay, so let's see. Go back to some of your comments. Delisha asks, from where are you exactly? I am in Arizona in the US, up in the mountains, actually. So it's a little bit different than the desert people think of when they think of Arizona. Costalini says, I've noticed I've been remembering the last few moments of every dream for the last 2-ish weeks. Very weird. Yeah, I feel like, you know, things are merging. Like, everything that's always there, perhaps it's just being more easy to view by more people, more of the collective consciousness. And this could be something we decided, you know, I mean, everyone's like, we're in the age of Aquarius, which is the age of information, truth, things being revealed. And that could be finally be able to see the worlds beyond the worlds that are right here that we live in. So that's interesting. And Time Harvest says, in my country, I have the perfect stomach tea. It's called Boldo. If you can go to any Brazilian store, you'll find it. This thing will fix you right away. Oh, I bet it will. And if you have a recipe to share, I'm all about the recipes. A lot of people email me recipes, and I do try them out, especially when it comes to teas and baked goods. Like, that's right up my alley. Let's see. Lilith says, wow, no, might make you feel euphoric. Well, good. I want to feel euphoric. I almost took some gummies, but I was afraid I would be weirder than I normally am. But I don't know. Maybe you guys wouldn't even notice. Maybe I'm on them and you don't know. Let's see. Lilith says, I have some Boldo in my apothecary collection. Really? I want to check it out. And Riley says, I need some of that tea. Yeah. Well, I will actually, I'll look for it here in the States. Maybe I could find it online, or maybe it's at my local herb store. It's a family-owned shop just down the way. And if you guys live in the White Mountains, definitely check out Sunshine Herbs. They got the best herbs. But yeah, I'll check for it there too. Thank you for the heads up. Lola says, oh, watch, this becomes a sleep stream. I know the live chat's just a bunch of Z's. You just hear my snoring for the next 2 hours until YouTube's like, hello, hello, is this okay? We're just gonna turn her off now. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. Well, this is, I'm joking. It doesn't taste great though. It's really function over taste heavy. Oh, trust me, I know. I've made some teas where I'm like, this is zero likability, but it's 100% yes helpability, you know? um, and Time Harvest says Bolo is the best for stomach. All right, so I will definitely check that out. I am mentally writing it down in my brain, actually. And Delisha says, can you tell according to the date or month when the new year starts according to you? It's, well, actually, as we get closer, I know that because I haven't looked into when the lunar new year is, and I know that it's roughly a week to a couple of weeks. Sometimes it's right on the Lunar New Year, but I also have to look at Venus's cycle because it follows the 260-day Venus cycle, Venetian cycle. So I will take a look at it as we get closer to the end of our Gregorian calendar for sure, and then I'll let you guys know. Let's see. Time Harvest says nothing matches it, and Lilith says 2025. Let me embrace peacefulness as strength. So I'd pick lavender to represent that. I think. Ooh, okay. I like that. Suggestions already coming in. I dig that. I dig that. Okay, lavender. I would put some lavender in it. I believe that too. Lauren says that's a never-ending lesson story. Cup of tea. This is the tea that never ends. It goes on and on, my friend. And Time Harvest says native South Americans here used it in the high altitude to help with nausea and stomach pain after eating too much peanuts. Aww. It says it works every time like a charm. There's boldo growing in every corner in my town. It's everywhere here like grass. And he says, thanks so much for existing. You're the best. You guys are the best. All right. So, okay, let's quickly pull some cards here. If you guys want to pull some cards, let me know what deck you're working with. You know, I think it creates a more well-rounded look into the week ahead when we have more higher selves, more souls taking a look at it. But maybe if you don't work with cards and you're just like, you know, I feel into channel those messages, then hey, let us know what those messages are. Okay. Ooh. Yeah. I can't wait to make that tea. And Time Harvest, I wish some of that boldo was here too. Okay. Jute. And una más, por favor. Gracias. Okay, ahora. And then una más tarjeta, one more card, and this will be from my friend's deck. Ooh, okay, all right then. There you go. Fly out, will you then? Okay. And Alicia says winter deck. Yes. And Time Harvest says I'm ready for the super chats today's. And Lilith says Page of Pentacles reversed, Four of Swords reversed, Three of Swords reversed, and she's got the Rider Waite. 3 and 9 of Fire from the Book of Shadows Tarot. Wonderful. And I have had that deck. It's a wonderful, wonderful deck. Okay, so from the Winter Season Tarot, I have the Eight of Coins. I have the World, El Mando, the Chariot. I love those little huskies. That's awesome. I love that point of view. I think that Danielle Norman did a beautiful job with her deck. Okay, I'll take a look at that other card that I pulled last. Let me just tap into these. So again, we have the Eight of Coins, the World, and the Chariots. That's two majors. Is it going to be majorly awesome? We'll find out. Okay, give me just a moment. Okay, interesting, interesting. So obviously with a look ahead into the week, it's going to have different meaning for different people because we all have different things going on in our lives, you know. So it's hard to say this one thing is going to happen to everybody, but it feels like the energy for this upcoming week is that of choice. And so since basically the most of the world is following this Gregorian calendar, tomorrow is December 1st. And so December 1st, it's kind of like this little switch that gets flipped inside of people. It's like, oh my gosh, this year is ending. We're in the final month of the year. So it's almost this subconscious choice that we're being given of, would you like to continue in the lessons and the energy that you're in right now? So everything that's going on in your life, everything that you're working through, going through, would you like to have that continue for a little while longer? Like, regardless if that it makes you like happy or sad or whatever, it's like soul. This is asking your soul, not so much the ego, because the ego's like, you know, if you're not having such a great time, the ego would be like, well, of course I would like to have a better time. I don't want to have a not good time. So my choice would be go for the gold. But it's like asking the soul, your soul, do you feel that you've gained all the lessons for this particular little chapter? Would you like to move on to a new lesson or a new little journey, a new energy? Are you ready for that? Or would you like to continue this on into the new year? So this is a wonderful time for us to go inwards, to reflect, you know, go into meditation or however it is that you connect to that energetic version of yourself and really start to see, is my soul making the choice to continue on? And if so, why? If it's deciding that I am complete, if so, why? And that way you have a clearer vision of perhaps what 2026 might have in store for you. You might say, well, it looks like for a little bit, I kind of just feel I'm going to continue on as things have been going for right now. I feel like there's still a little bit more I need to learn, or I need to, like, you know, button up some loose ends. Or it might be like, well, I feel like, you know, internally, like this is complete. I feel like I've completed something. I've finished something. I think I'm ready for a new adventure. So this has nothing to do with what we think we want. This is how we're feeling. This is how, what our soul is relaying to us. Because in our head, we might say, well, no, I'm ready for the new adventure, or like, heck no, I want to stay where things are, you know. But this is asking the soul. This is why it's very important that we go into this kind of reflective state. And although, you know, northern, some southern hemispheres of, you know, of the world, we're having, we're going into different seasons, but whether we're going into the winter season or we're going into a summer season, it's still a change of season, which requires us to take a pause and reflect. Because on the 21st, 22nd of December, the northern hemisphere is going to be going into its winter and at the solstice. And solstice means to stand still. And so in the southern hemisphere, they're also going to have a standstill before they move on into summer. So in that standstill state, or maybe even before we get to that solstice, what is your soul telling you? What's it relaying to you? Does it feel like it needs a little bit more? So you might have a little bit more of what's going on in your life right now as we enter the new year, or is it feel like it's wrapped it all up and it's ready for something new, so that you can take your newfound skills and your newfound knowledge into uncharted territory. Okay, so let's finally take a look at this final card, which is expression. And we have this beautiful heart-shaped box of candies. Well, hopefully there's candies in there. I mean, I hope it's not dookies. um, but with this expression, so I feel like that's kind of also connected to what I was just talking about, your soul's expression. How would it like to express itself in this upcoming year of 2026? Would it like to continue in its current expression, or is it ready for a new challenge? Is it ready for that? And there's no, I would say, right or wrong answer. So there's no shade being thrown at you if your soul is needing a little bit more time to understand a particular lesson or anything. We're all on our own different paths. So if your soul needs more time for that, then your soul needs more time for that. If somebody else's soul is like all finished with something, they're ready for something else, and that's it. They're just all finished with something, they're ready for something else. It doesn't make one soul better than the other. But it is a wonderful opportunity for us right now, like I said, maybe even before we go into the solstice, to find out what is our soul's expression at the moment. What would it like to express to us? Is it ready to continue? Maybe ready to continue with a little bit more challenge? Is it all done with this? And is it ready for something new? And if you already know the answer to that, well, then by all means, maybe put that in the comments too, if you feel like sharing. Okay. So let me put this down and now we'll take a look at what you guys said. Let's see. Lola says, feels like something might happen to let out some steam somehow. I've been feeling a little bit of that too, like little pockets of it here and there, so that we don't have such a boil over of energy, perhaps. But yeah, I feel that too. Might be something simple like a snowfall. And that would be amazeballs. Hey, Janine is here. Hello, hello. And Delisha says, so should we stay or move forward? What's the guidance? Well, see, that's what the guidance is that it's up to you. It's the message is that there is a choice to be made, so that at least you have the heads up for that. And then the guidance is for you to go inwards and decide, what does your individual soul, what would it like to do? Because not all of us are ready to move forward, and not all of us are ready to stay behind, perhaps. I don't want to say stay behind, that's negative connotation, but just it's not ready for that movement forward. So Time Harvest, you literally like read my mind. I was thinking of that song, should I stay or should I go now? If I go, there might be trouble. Let's see. Delicious says, I feel like it has a beautiful pink dress in that cute box. Ooh, I love that. That's even better than chocolates. Janine says, maybe late joining. I'm ready for something new, but struggling with things at the moment. Don't feel great. Hoping for 2026 to be better. Well, I am definitely sending you lots and lots of love, my friend. I'm always praying for everybody. So even like I said, you guys, I don't see your smiling faces. I do feel your energy, and I do say my prayers. I do tap in, and I'm always sending the best for you guys. So I know that a lot of people have struggled with this past year. I know that for a lot of us, we have lost some people, both physically and metaphorically speaking. So, with whatever it is that we were meant to learn from that or build from that, also sending you beautiful healing energy to go along with it. And Alicia says, I feel I should give December some part of the new chapter and some of the current to learn better, then finally new in January 2026. Okay, well, that is wonderful. John says, 50-ish minutes in. I'm here though. High five, bro. Welcome. Remember, time does not exist. There is no late. What did I put? I think it's still in my Instagram stories. I said, fashionably late, divinely on time. Let's see. All the time. And Lilith is like, with the jelly? Oh, John says it's toe jam. She said, gross. Time Harvest says, did you know it would happen? Oh, did you know it would happen? Oh, is it with, oh, are you speaking about the young lady or no? Is it different? Definitely let me know. And Lemon Lime Slulu says, hello, hello. What kind of reading is this live? We just did our weekly reading, and then we're going to go off into the kitchen, make a tea, and then we're going to come together and make ourselves an herbal incense to say goodbye to 2025. You can burn it now. You can burn it throughout the month. You could burn it on New Year's Eve. It's totally up to you, but we're going to create it together. And then afterwards, we'll do our super chats and super stickers. So yeah. Oh, so Time Harvest, I did not know. I had not tapped in since last time I tapped in for you. So I'm sorry to hear that it did not work out. Oh, but yeah, well, let me pull a card for you. Lemon Limes Lulu says, is the weekly a collective or an individual zodiac one? It's a collective reading. So it's just the collective's energy moving into the week ahead. Okay, so Time Harvest, before we go out into the kitchen, let me just quickly pull a card for Time Harvest. And let me do a little tap in. Let's see. Maybe the thing that you most need to know right now for your best and highest good as it pertains to the young lady in yourself. And first, I want to just see if there's anything on the spiritual radio. What do we call it? Spirit Radio FM, station 1111. Or if I see anything visually. Okay, the song that's coming through, I think this is from like the early 90s. It's Counting Blue Cars by Dishwalla. I'm getting like all parts of the song at once, so it's like not even like I'm not hearing like the song all the way through like I normally do when I hear you guys. So it's almost like different parts of the song are all being played at once, so it's almost really hard to hear. But the only piece of the song that is clear, it says, wondering why, who, and where we are. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull a card and see how that pertains to kind of what you're going through right now. Haven't heard that song in a hot minute, by the way. I remember, gosh, I must have been, was it maybe I was like 13, 14? No, maybe 13 when that song came out. And I remember I just was like, oh my gosh, this is the best song ever. But then the radio played it like every 10 minutes. And then it was like, All right. So we have the Queen of Coins. And it's interesting because in that song, it's the group, the band is a group of guys, and the lead singer is almost asking, it's like he's speaking to God, but then he's also talking to like the divine feminine, and he's like wanting to get answers from her. He's wanting to know why. There's a whole lot of why in that song. I don't know why they call it Counting Blue Cars, but okay, so let's put it all together for a message for you. Okay. All right. So, time harvest, it just like what it's showing me is like two very young plants. They haven't grown into full on, like, let's say, sunflowers quite yet. It's like still the beginning. You could tell that there's like a blossom on there, but it hasn't like fully bloomed. You haven't seen it in either plant. And it's almost like the two of you are facing each other. Um, and it says that to kind of look at this from a higher perspective, obviously there's going to be heartbreak in it, but to look at it from the higher perspective, you are meant to come together at this time, which you guys did, so that you could experience what simple, mm, joyous love could be like. The kind of love that gives you the butterflies in your stomach, the kind of love that makes you smile so hard it hurts your face. And that there's such a purity and a simpleness to it. And sometimes we overly complicate our relationships, both romantic and our friendships, you know, and sometimes our relationships to our family members and our coworkers. We overly complicate things with so many external things instead of just focusing on that very simple, genuine feeling. And so you've experienced this feeling. The young lady that you were with, she was able to experience this feeling. But there's a lot more experiences the two of you both have to go through before you're ready to come back again. It could be with each other, or perhaps, you know, finding the, I want to say the person that you're meant for, because we're all in different timelines, but the person that you would be with for quite a long time and the person that she would be with for quite a long time, that you would recognize that particular person in the future, because now you have this experience, this gift that she gave you and this gift that you gave her. And like I said, maybe it's you two coming back together years from now, or not. But for the way forward, both of you have given each other this gift of understanding, like, what pure, simple love is, without it being complicated with our ego, without it being complicated with the stresses of the 3D world. It's that genuine feeling it in our stomach, feeling it in our heart, feeling it all the way down to our toes and the top of our head. Like, you felt it everywhere. And so now when, let's say, you find other girlfriends in the future, you have something to go back in your toolbox and be like, does this type of love feel the same? Or does it feel like I'm forcing it this time? If so, then, you know, maybe this new relationship you're in is not for you, you know, and so now you have that as reference, and she has that as reference as well. So that, you know, it doesn't get clouded with our logic sometimes, or clouded with the words of somebody else saying, oh, you know, and they say such beautiful poetry, you know, and sometimes we might get all caught up in that, but does it really have that feeling, that really innocent, pure feeling that I once had, you know, months and years ago? And so you guys have given each other a wonderful gift. And like I said, you were meant to come together because your souls do know each other. And so you're helping each other out at this time, but there's a little bit more life experience to go before you ultimately find that person that you decide with your free will that you would like to spend the rest of your life with, and her the same. And like I said, there is a timeline where it could be the two of you coming together in the future, and there's timelines where it's not the two of you, but I don't feel that you ever lose touch with each other, meaning you're going to know her for a very long time. So I hope that makes sense. Thank you, Time Harvest, for allowing me to tap in. Lilith says, oh yeah, that we had done our weekly reading. Yes. And John says, Spirit Radio Station 1111, out of time and beyond our senses. Yes, in Radio Man voice. Time Harvest says, yes, I'm wondering why it's so confusing. I don't know why she decided to do it out of the blue, and the song counting blue cars. And Lilith says, much strength, Time Harvest. And he said, but she doesn't want to talk to me anymore, not even friends. I doubt I will keep in touch. Not now, but there's still a whole lot of future for the two of you, but not for now. Like I said, there's a little bit more growing, and it has nothing to do with age, just growth of the soul first, for both you guys. Lemon Limes Lulu says, thank you so much. Can we donate anything for questions once you start to do super chat readings? I don't see a price listing. Yeah, it's just donation. And there's, I think at the bottom of the chat, I think there's like a place for super chat, super stickers. Some people also donate through PayPal because they don't want to deal with YouTube. I totally understand. And in that case, you would just have to let me know that you did a PayPal, donation or something. But yeah, you can definitely do that. Time Harvest says, it's so confusing. Well, matters of the heart often can be very confusing because our head is saying one thing, our heart is saying another thing, and they get all jumbled up in communication. It's like static on the radio. Time Harvest says, thanks for helping out. You are very welcome. Delisha says, oh, she wants to know what's coming up for her in December. We can definitely look into that. Lilith says, oh, there goes tea time. So yeah, we're definitely gonna, after Delisha's reading, I'm gonna make some tea. I have to make some tea. My stomach needs some tea. And then we will play with the herbs. And then we'll continue doing super chats and super stickers. Lemon Limes Lulu said, much appreciated. You are very welcome, my friend. And Costalini says, I'm sorry, Thyme, at least now someone even better can show up for you, which is very true. Sometimes it's very hard to see that in the moment. We feel like, because I mean, there's probably all of us have gone through at one point or another, the feeling of being dumped. Of, it's heartbreaking. A lot of times it's like, I don't understand. I don't know why. I must have done something wrong. Oftentimes we blame ourselves. And sometimes it's just, we weren't with the right people. And it's not till like months later or even years later, we're like, oh my gosh, if that person didn't free me, I would have never have met this person. And I didn't even know this person existed. And they're freaking amazeballs, So, and that's the I don't know, I guess the fun of the future, I suppose. Lemon Lime says, having some tea right now for you. Ooh, what kind of tea? Do share. Okay, so Delisha, let's take a look skis. On Spirit Radio 1111. I like what John said. Let me go back. Oh yeah. Spirit Radio Station 1111, out of time and beyond our senses. Okay. Let's see if there's anything on Spirit Radio 1111 right now. All right. I'm hearing Jimmy right now, Jimi Hendrix. Red House. At first, it's just like the intro is just him playing the guitar. And he's talking about, there's a red house over yonder. Oh, there's a red house over yonder. I haven't been back to see my baby in 99 and 1/2 days. But it's very like bluesy almost feeling. It's got a slow tempo to it. It's very like laid back. That is a good song. I haven't heard it in a while, but it's a really good song. So yeah, if Delisha, if you wanted to look it up on the interwebs, look up Jimi Hendrix Red House if you wanted to listen to it. So let's pull you a card and see what that song has to do with what's coming. Ooh. Okay, Delisha, you ready? We got the Tower here. In this card, it's depicted as a tree has fallen over, but you know what? It didn't fall on the house. The house is still standing. It just took down the power lines. Ooh, lines of communication. Uh-huh. Telephone lines. Interesting. Okay. So, and also in Jimi Hendrix's song, um, it's talking about, you know, not having been communicating for a while, not having seen somebody for a while. And the red house is our root chakra. That is our home. That is our security and foundation. This card has a house on it, security, foundation. Okay, so as we go into December and slowly march our way into 2026 for you personally, how this shows up, the energy will be the same, but the timeline that you place yourself on based on the choices that you make every single day, how that shows up, it might be a little bit different. Um, but it feels like your soul is asking for a shakeup in your day-to-day routine, like to get you out of that routine. And it's starting in December. So I don't feel like it's going to finish up in December. I feel like it's going to flow on into the beginning of 2026, maybe even flowing into February. So like December to February. But it does feel like a little bit of a shakeup. And it's not, let's say, you know, where you feel like you're being punished by the universe. It's not a punishment at all. It's because there are some other people that you need to meet, some experiences that you need to have for your soul to grow, for you to grow as a person, for your confidence to grow, for your self-love to grow, your love for community and others to grow. But you're needing to get out of the space that you know right now. Not completely. So not completely, like, I don't feel like it's a complete shakeup. Like in this card, the house is still standing. It's not destroyed, like we might see in other cards. So it's not a total destruction of your way of life right now. But it is forcing you to do something different, to kind of get out of that routine, so that you can see yourself differently. And, you know, it might be situations that you deem really good. It might be situations that you deem really bad, but it's to force you to make choices so that you are able to see yourself differently in the choices that you make. You know, so if you're always making the same choices every day, like I always wake up at 6 a.m. and then I always go to school and then I come back from school and then I eat this and then I do that, you know, and the routine is always exactly the same. So it's hard for us to make choices that are different for ourselves. But, you know, let's say something happens and now I'm being transferred to a different school, and it might be like, oh my gosh, why is this happening? I'm not saying that's going to happen, but just for instance, you know, something like that. And now I have to make different choices because this other school is expecting different things of me. And now I'm seeing myself differently. And now I'm surrounded by these different people, and my routine's all shook up, you know, and so now I might have to find a different way home, which means that I might go grocery shopping at a different place, or I might start eating a little bit differently, which is also going to change my energy a little bit. So I do feel like this, it's time to shake up Delisha just a little bit, so that she can perceive herself differently, you know. And when I say that, I think of the way we perceive ourselves in our dreams. I don't know if you guys sometimes see yourself in your dreams, like you're not first person, but you're like third person. And what we see, or sometimes when we see ourselves in a mirror in our dream, it's a projection of how we think we are, who we think we are, what we think we look like. And in this new energy that is trying to get shaken up for you, it's so you can perhaps change the image of who you think you are. You might say, well, I'm Delisha and I'm from this place and these are my parents and this is the language that I speak and this is the culture that I grew up in and that is who I am. But what if there's more to it than that? So that's what this shakeup is bringing in for you. So it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. So it's definitely a gift, but it may not feel that way in the moment, but you'll start to understand it when we get further into 2026. It might make more sense. So I hope that makes sense for you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me go back up here. Ooh, Lemon Lime Slulu is having hot chai. Ooh, I love chai tea. Of course, I know that chai also means tea. So it's like tea. But chai is really good. Yes. Time Harvest says that's right. The future brings goods. It does. It does. And Lilith says, life is but a journey where lessons were collected and wisdom obtained. We can never regret wisdom, for sure. And Delisha says, I am smiling. Aw, very good. And Lilith says, you'll be okay, Time Harvest. Delisha says, standing always, no matter what comes up or how much I cry. Yes, sending you lots of love, Delisha. Time Harvest says, I now feel like I don't understand women anymore, and I'm afraid of them. Part of my gender assumption, girls, but this one got me down bad. Oh, well, don't give up on us completely. But, you know, I think that sentiment has been voiced by many gentlemen pursuing ladies where they have no idea. They say that we're a mystery, but you know what? Sometimes we're like, dudes, what? What is happening up there in your brains? So the feeling is mutual at times. Delisha says, what you mean is routine change is coming, which will change me and be different from my current version. I have final exams in February, though, for which I need to study really hard now. Aha. Okay. So that might be part of it. So yes, it is changes coming, but not just like little changes, like I'm going to wear a blue dress today instead of a red dress today, but it's changes in your personal life and maybe even in your community, you know, so it's like being forced to make a change, which will, yes, help you to perceive yourself differently, to see yourself differently than the current version of the person that you are. And she said, ooh, thrilling. And Costalini says, time, nobody understands women. And I know it sucks right now, but this is an opportunity to attract someone perfect for you. All right. Wise words, my friend. Okay, so Costalini, ooh, let's go ahead and pull a card for you and Time Harvest as well. And Costalini says, can you ruin a December surprise for me? Open up the presents and put them back under the tree. Thank you. I can't ruin all your December gifts, but maybe I can take a look into one. But and it would have to be one your soul shows me, because if your soul doesn't want me to see certain gifts, I can't look into those gifts. But I could take a little peek skis for you. And then Time Harvest, yes, we will dive into your question. Lyran's like, what brain do you all mean? Nice one, dude. And Time Harvest says, that's true, everyone. And Delisha says, I think I was meant to hear this. Thank you so much, grateful. See you soon, beautiful. Feeling sleepy, I have my exam though. We'll be waiting for you to come live next, and I will stay till the end. And Lilith is like, meanwhile, crickets. All right, so yes, Delisha, you have a wonderful time tomorrow. You're going to do excellent on your exams. Sleep well, my friend. Okay. So Costalini, let's take a look. And then Time Harvest. And then S-Light. Okay. Time Harvest is nice name, Liren 44. Meow. Okay. Okay, so. Okay, Costalini. Okay, so like the theme song to Home Alone is playing, the first Home Alone. So, okay, yeah, if you guys don't know the theme, put it into YouTube right now. Just theme music to Home Alone, and you'll hear what I hear at the moment. Okay. And it's very like, I don't know. The music is how I say, like mischievous type music. And you're wanting to look at gifts. So we'll look at one that your soul will let me peer into. I don't know why you would want to spoil Christmas surprises, but let's see. Okay, now let's take a look at the card. Ooh, 10 of Swords. Are you sure you want me to open this gift? Okay. Okay. I really have to dig under the tree because it's like, nope, you can't look in that one. And no, you're not allowed to look in that one. I'm like, okay, well, he wants a little peek in just one of them. Okay, well, of course, the one that he's probably not going to care about. Okay. So I don't know if it'll be this exact gift, but I was getting, well, okay. So there was this older woman, and I remember she told me, she says, if anybody ever gifts you anything with a cord, you slap them in the face. And I was just like, I didn't get it because I was like thinking in my brain, well, I think it would be really cool if somebody like gave me like a blender or a toaster or something. But it kind of feels like that, like an appliance somehow for, but in your head, it's like, oh, wow, yay, adulting machines. Great. So it's like, I mean, it was a thoughtful gift. Somebody was thinking about what you needed. Like Costellini might need this, for the kitchen or for cooking. So it's something with a cord. So it could be, but it's something with a cord in the kitchen. So it could be like a pressure cooker. It could be, I don't know, like I said, a toaster, it could be a blender, it could be a mixer, it could be a kettle, one of the electric kettles like I have. But in your head, it's almost like this reaffirming that, yes, dude, you're in adulthood and now you have to get adult gifts. Because oftentimes those of us that do celebrate Christmas, it's like the little kid in us is like, oh my gosh, there's going to be like toys under the tree and I'm finally going to get that football that I wanted, or that baseball glove, or I'm finally going to get that bicycle or Malibu Barbie or whatever it is. And then we open up our gifts and there's adult gifts, things for making dinner. So it's like one of those gifts, Costellini, but they wouldn't let me look at the other ones. But that's the one where you're kind of like, oh, yay, an adulting gift. I always wanted to make dinner. I mean, if you're a chef, then you'd probably be over the moon. But it's kind of like, even though you're an adult, you're kind of hoping that there's toys under the tree and things to play with and things that are really fun. And then it's like you got a gift that was more practical than fun. It's like, well, I could have just brought that for myself. So it's not that you're upset at the person who gave it to you or you're even upset at the gift. It's just the reminder that, wow. So I'm really not getting that Red Rider, am I? It's like I'm getting a pressure cooker. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let me go down here and see what she says. Costellini says, it's because I literally have robbers after me. The car thieves waited for me in the parking garage. So that's very fitting. Wow. This is just like a stocking stuffer. I mean, if it's Dyson, that's kind of exciting. Thank you. They haven't caught these car thieves yet. Like they haven't, nothing is happening. Definitely report that, because like, what the heck? These people are like cruising for a bruising. I mean, they're pretty sure they get more than a bruising from me, but oh my goodness. Costalina says there's a backlog of crime. Wow. Wow. That sucks, man. Well, I'm going to send some energy your way where I put you just like in a little protective bubble, because that sucks. It says police will get around to it when they have time. Tell them time doesn't exist and they should just like get out there. Lilith's like, I mean, immersion blender. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, so time harvest, let's take a look at your question. You're asking if she may have found somebody else. All right, well, we'll take a look though. Delisha says that tea has to wait. It does. You know what? All in divine time. Maybe there's a reason I have to wait. Maybe my stomach has to be in a more receptive mode to receive that herbal healing to really help it. So, you know what? Divine time. Divine time. I'm not going to be mad at it. That's something actually, you know what? That goes along with something Riley and I heard at a church today with the pastor. He was talking about when we're in a rushing mode and we stop seeing people as people and we start seeing them as something in my way. Like he says that like when he's like rushing to get someplace, it's like, you know, he would rather just like step all over them just to get to what he's trying to do. And he's like gets in a really foul mood and, you know, and it's like, where's the love and light? It's like not there. You know, and so maybe this is like, cause I'm not trying to rush through you guys, by the way, but it's like, you know, I was thinking, oh, wait, I can go make my tea. I was like, okay, well, I'll do another reading. But then, and it's like, that's coming up though. It's like, are you going to continue to give the time that you need for the people that need the readings? Or are you just going to brush them aside and be like, you know what? Tara needs tea. So it's like, you know, okay, I see what's happening here. So yes, I will continue to give you guys my undivided attention for your readings, because obviously you guys are needing it. And my tea, well, if time doesn't exist, my tea will be there. It'll be there. So no worries. I get it. I'm hearing all the messages today. And it was real interesting. I mean, gosh, there's a lot of synchronicities today. It's blowing my little brain balls. So anywho, let's see. Lilith says, well, that's a slippery slope. Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to. Well, we'll see. Okay. Time harvest. Let's tap in. We'll tap into Spirit Radio FM 1111. We'll see if there's anything on the station or if I actually just see something. It's not, I don't hear music. It's more like I see something. And so it's like I am her, like I'm like in her form. And it was like I got scared. And it really 100% had nothing to do with you. But scared because she had all these feelings and then all of a sudden it was this massive amount of fear overcame her. It was like so much at once. There's so much feeling that she hasn't really felt before, all at once. And then it was like, what happens if this feeling goes away? What if time harvest breaks up with me? What if time harvest finds a girl that is smarter, prettier, older than me, and doesn't want me? I I don't like that. And so all of a sudden it was all this fear of what if this happens? What if that happens? What if he cheats on me? What if I cheat on him? What if, and also her coming to the conclusion that she was so overwhelmed with emotions, all these mix of emotions of like newness, and this is like ooh new and everything and exciting, but also it's uncharted territory. And you know what happens to our egos when it's an uncharted territory? It panics, and sometimes it hits the eject button and it just wants to get out of the situation. It seems like that's what she wanted. She wanted out because it's a lot of emotions for me to process. It's a lot just, and my brain won't shut off. There's so much I'm thinking, what if this, what if that, what if this, and I don't think I'm ready. It was just I'm not ready. I just, in her brain, it's, I don't understand boys. I can I just like not date boys for a really long time because I'm scared. Like, what does this mean? If you're really in love with somebody, does that mean you need to get married like right away? Does that mean you need to have babies right away? And I don't know if, like, she's really overwhelmed by so much thinking and so much feeling that she just wanted just eject. And it was just a lot of worry of what if, what could happen. That it all boils down to she just wasn't ready. Just not ready. So no, there isn't another person. In fact, she's like, I don't want to like another boy for a really long time. And it, like I said, 100% had nothing to do with you. She's just not ready. It was just a lot of emotions to hit her at once, a lot of thinking. Her brain just wouldn't shut off. Okay, so let's pull a card to take, see if we get any clarification on that. Ooh, card flew out. Ooh, sleigh ride. It's lovely weather with a sleigh ride together with you. So yeah, it's definitely, perhaps it is, I don't want to speak for all ladies because we all grew up in different countries and we're all kind of maybe raised a little bit differently, but at least for in my little perspective, my lady perspective, I grew up where, I've been taught that, everything's supposed to be like a love story. It's but like some sort of Hallmark movie, where the guy comes in and he's just like the hottest thing ever and he sweeps you off your little feet and just, I don't know, it's somehow got like freaking Pretty Woman in there mixed with, what is some Christmas Story, and it's all like all wrapped together, like it's all just Hollywood romance. And so I'm not sure, maybe that's how it was, her, growing up in her very young self is seeing all these movies of this is how romance is. And, and girls are supposed to do this and then guys do this. And, and so she's feeling all these feelings and thinking all these things. And that's not quite what the characters are doing in these novels that I read or these movies that I watch. And it's just all very confusing and it's a lot at once. I just need to stop. So it wasn't that she didn't like you. In fact, she liked you very much. It's just she couldn't handle all the feelings that she's having right now. She's being inundated with, it's like Hallmark movie. It's just too much. And then fear. So I was like Hallmark movie and then Nightmare on Elm Street, Hallmark movie, Nightmare on Elm Street. It's like too much to process. So, okay. So I hope that helps clarify some things. And Lilith says, I'll brew you some tea. I'll wait until you take some time and make some for yourself. Okay. Thank you. And Time Harvest says, yes, the tea will work more efficiently after all this help for us. Yes, see? Wonderful. And Laren said, a beautiful observation and ego lesson. Love it so much over here. Very cool. And Laren said, life by the moment. And Time Harvest says, damn, she really did have all of these fears. You got it so on point. That's exactly her. You're so good at this. I am totally amazed. It was her right there. Well, hopefully that helped to quell some of your own fears and worrying that it was something you said or something you did. I know that that's a very logical human response, is that when something happens and somebody says, I don't want you anymore, of course, our logical response is, they don't want me. That means I did something, when oftentimes it's something that's going on with the other person that we're just not seeing. John says, Orion, the Baby Goose movie. Yo, yes, Baby Goose. So many movies. Oh my goodness. Okay, S Light. Yeah, there was. Oh my goodness. Maybe while, okay, I'm going to do S Light's reading. Yes, I will take the time to do your reading. But while I brew my tea, I have to share with you. It was like, this particular sermon was like hitting all the feels because it directly connected to my dream. And Lyrin, I was talking about like the whole like dream world, waking world. It seems like it's too, well, that was happening while I was like sitting in church, and my mind was like, I was like, whoa. and then afterwards, it was I have to explain it because you guys have no idea what I'm talking about right now, but I'll have to explain it. Okay, so S Light says, does Lee have a plan to contact me soon? Okay. So let's tap in. Maybe there's something on the radio, Spirit Radio, or maybe there's something on Spirit TV. Okay, let's see. I don't know. I rarely ever see like TV shows, but maybe they just show me something, or movies. Ooh, they should start showing me movies. But that would be difficult because usually when Spirit works through me, it's tapping into what I know. I haven't seen that many movies. So I guess that's like hitting a roadblock. I know more songs than I do movies. Okay. But flip through my repertoire. See what you can see. Oh, tu es foutu. Promise Me. It's by Ingrid, also from the 90s. It's like when we were all into kind of like rave music, dance music. You promise me. That's literally the whole song. But man, we thought it was so good. But anyway, that's what's playing. So we'll see, what does You Promise Me mean about Lee contacting you. Okay, so we have the Knight of Swords. I don't feel like right now, like he would contact you, let's say in the next few weeks or even month. But I do feel at some point he will contact you. And it's at a time where you've kind of moved on a little bit, and you, in your brain, you think that he's like completely forgotten about you because he hasn't contacted you, nothing. But you've kind of always been in the back of his mind, but it's just logically he doesn't see how it could work out. And, he's not really one for, I guess, we were talking about romance movies. There's always this like, and then the guy hops on a train and then he takes a chance and he goes like to this other country. He's not really one of those guys. He's not like I'm gonna take a chance and put my heart on the line. He for where he is in his life, he likes to stay close to home. He doesn't I mean, close to home here, like in the heart. He doesn't really want his heart broken, so he doesn't really like extend himself out that far. Which is, you know, there's pros and cons to that, because even though he really does like you, it's well, I don't see how this is going to work, and so why would I, you know, continue contact and string her along and thus string myself along, and then people are just going to get hurt. I don't, you know, I don't want to do that. But out of the blue, when you think that he's like, okay, he's completely forgotten about me, that's when the contact comes. So it could come, you know, in the form of email, phone call, letter, if one was so inclined. And it's just hey, how you doing? How you been? Like, are you seeing anybody? You know, he's just kind of like wondering, you know, I've kind of been thinking about you. I mean, he wouldn't really say it that way, that I've been thinking about you. Have you been thinking about me? But that's what he's thinking. Like, he wants to get a feeler, like, where are you right now? Like, in your life, are you with somebody? Which means, have you been thinking about me, or have you moved on from me? It does feel like somewhere in 2026. So it's definitely in this next year. But I don't feel it's soon. So it wouldn't be like within December, or maybe even within January, but maybe sometime after that, that he would do a little contact. But you know, and then it's kind of up to you, your choice, if you want to try to coax it out of him to like get him to state how he feels, or if you're just going to be like, well, I guess we could just remain friends. So, but it'll just kind of be up to you from there. But just know that he does think about you logically. He doesn't see how it would make sense to like try to create a relationship that is long distance. But yeah, you're definitely on his mind, and at some point, he'll just like need to know, like, is she with anybody? Is she seeing anybody? I just need to know. So it's like he'll give you a call, just a little check-in, see how you feel, because he also wants to know, it's like, before I say anything, I always want the other person to spill their guts. And then I'm like, okay, then I feel more confident about saying how I feel. But he is not the one to go first to say, oh, I've been feeling this and I've been thinking about you. That's too much putting himself out there. And he's plays things a little more close to the chest. So hope that makes sense. But yes, he will contact, just not in the near future, but as we make our way into 2026, yes. Let's see here. So thank you, by the way, for allowing me to read for you. Okay, so Time Harvest says, should I contact her and talk to her about all those fears she has, or should I just let her go and time will bring her back? At this moment, she has just kind of being inside her head. She has so much swirling around. I don't think it would be helpful. I think what she does need to do, actually, what would be helpful, I can't really say what people need to do with their lives, but what would be helpful is if she could talk to an older female, like somebody who's like, you know, has had a lot of relationships, has felt all those feelings, has had their heads swimming with what is he thinking? You know, all of these things, so that she could feel comfortable enough to express like all of her fears. So on this one, I don't think her having that sit down with you, or even the sit down with her father or even her mother, it could be just an older female who she feels very trusted with. I think that would be the best course of action for her to get some advice, but I think she needs to kind of work through this on her own. And I'm sure you would have some well-meaning things to say, but I think she's so much in her head right now. And since it's coming from you and she has all these feelings about you, I don't think she would hear everything that you would have to say. And you would have said some really good things. So I don't know if contacting her right now would be the best course of action. I mean, you can if you would like, but I just feel like she needs some time on her own. And she really does need to talk to an older person who's just kind of been through it, you know? So that she feels like she's understood. Let's see. And then S-Light said, thank you so much. So he has feelings. Yes, very much so. I definitely have that. Lilith says, it's tea time. It's tea time, homies. Okay. Let's go, homies. Let's go. You're good. You're good. All right. We'll be back here. Sweet. Let me just grab this thingamajiggy. And then I'm going to grab you guys. And we're going to making our way into the kitchen. We're going to make that tea, an herbal blend. Okay. That can go like that. Like so. Costalini says, got to go. Neighbor cooked me dinner. Ooh, wow, lucky. All right. Well, Costalini, you have a great rest of your day. I hope you have a fantabulous week. And I will send a little good juju your way to keep you in a nice protective bubble from unsavory folks. All right. Hold on. Let me get this leg in this tripod here. Ah, here we go. Yay. Okay. I just had to get myself all set up here. Time Harvest is good song. The White Chick song. Dude, I haven't seen that movie in a hot minute. Okay. So this has like all of my recipes for everything. Salves, oils, teas. So we're going to make a tea that Lilith Phoenix emailed to me. So that's right, you guys. If you have some great recipes, feel free to email them to me. That email is down below. So, okay. First, we're going to brew up some water. That is what we are going to do. Okay. I have my manatee. He is going to be my little tea strainer today. Of course, my magical herbal spoon. And my nice little mug. Okay, so we are going to need some stinky valerian. Alrighty. Well, oh, and I put a lot of my herbs up onto the counter. Check those babies out. One day I'm going to have a shelf and I'm going to have my own sweet little apothecary. It's going to be amazeballs. Okay, so I'm going to go get some stinky valerian. I think my yarrow is up here. My raspberry, okay, is on the other side. Okay, okay. Yarrow it is. Sorry, yarrow and valerian. Okay, valerian. Do. Stinky valerian. There you are. Okay. We have valerian. We need some yarrow. Buddha boom. We need raspberry leaf. Okay. I'm sure I have some in a jar, but this is like my extra bag of it, but I don't, it's in a jar somewhere. I don't want to dig for it. Okay. Echinacea. I know I have some echinacea around her, some hair. Okay, no, that's hyssop. I definitely don't need hyssop. That's rosemary. Oh, wait, is it this one? Yes, the label is kind of coming off, but okay, got echinacea. I love the taste of echinacea. I love the taste of echinacea in the morning. Okay. What else do we need? Passion flower, willow bark, hibiscus. I know I have hibiscus up here. Here we are, hibiscus. We need some cinnamon and rose petals. Okay, cinnamon we have. Give me just un momento. Cinnamon, cinnamon. You love to be my cinnamon. Okay, we have some cinnamon sticks, rose petals. Okay. Okay, rose petals. Where are you? Okay, here you are. Okay, so we have some roses. And then I think the other things I was looking for was passion flower and willow bark. That was the other two. Okay. Lila says, I made it into your book. I'm honored. You did. Time Harvest says, bum bum bum. Okay. So this is like my bag of like little samples of herbs where I don't have enough to actually put into a jar. So I'm sure it's in here somewhere. I really am the herb queen. It just makes me so happy just to be in my herbs. I don't know why. Okay, so passion flower, we're looking for you. We're also looking for some willow bark. Nope. Nope. Oh, poppy seeds. You know, those were great. I liked that in my tea. And no, I did not get high, but it was pretty good. Motherwort, green pepper, nope. Nope, 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 nope. Solomon seal. Watch it be at the very bottom. Okay, willow and passion flower. I think I have those two. If memory serves me. It's wild endive. No, that's yellow dock. No, I'm looking for willow bark. Okay. Blessed thistle. Nope. Nope. Flaxseed. No. Hold on so you guys can see what I'm doing down here. So I just go through my herbies. And the water can just chill there. It stays pretty hot for a long time. So I'm not in like the big hurry. Oh, that's eucalyptus, slippery elm, spearmint, bay leaf. Bay leaf, that should go with my other bay. There we go. Some of these herbs, they walk away from me. A willow bark. Ha ha ha. Ha ha. Okay, we have willow bark. Now we're looking for passion flower. Okay, that's sweet. Wild lettuce. That's good stuff. Wild lettuce is also really good for pain management, actually. I was going to make some for Riley, but I would need more wild lettuce, actually. Mandrake, you probably don't want to take that. That's a poison. Okay. Marshmallow. Oh, I have two marshmallows? You guys should be stapled together. Peppercorn, tofu. It really is going to be at the bottom. Holy smokes. Ah, there it is. Passion flower. Yeah, baby. Okay. The rest of you guys, beckons big. Alrighty. And then let's make this totally awesome tummy tea that Lilith shared with me. I'm sure it's going to help with my lower back too. It's like in my back, it's in my tummy. It's all kinds of no fun. But I'm sure that now that I've gotten to, sit with you guys and pull some cards and everything, that I'm going to be just so much more receptive to the medicine that this tea has to offer, per what I learned in sermon today. Okay. Alrighty. So now let's mix these babies together. Let's go put in a little bit of that raspberry leaf. Just a little dab will do ya. Okay. And thank you, by the way, Lilith, for this. It's gonna help. I just know it is, because I know these herbs, and I'm like, this is a wonderful like grouping of herbs that you've brought together. John says, was that Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory? It might have been. And says, it wasn't the last thing. You wouldn't keep looking. I know. I always wonder, I was like, why is it always in the last place? Probably because we cease to be looking. Time Harvest says, I've got no tea, but I'm lighting some incense for us. It says, could it be period related? It might be. I just didn't want to, I didn't know if the whole internet wanted to know, but you know, whatever. Sharing is caring. Okay, a little bit more willow bark. Okay. Okay, maybe that was too much willow bark. Okay, well, that's fine. That's cool. Well, you know, whatever. Maybe I needed a lot of willow bark. Okay, a little bit of passion flower. Lilith says, it is my pleasure, love. Laren says, I light my joint up. A different herb can be used for this tea as well. And Lilith says, yes, Time Harvest, it's Menses Tea. I love all the honorary, you know, some of you guys are drinking tea, some of you guys are toking up, some of you guys are lighting incense. I really appreciate it. Get in the manatee's butt. Come on, you want to do it. You want to be in his butt. Yes. Good job. Guten. Okay, so there's a little bit of that, and let's see what else. I'm making an herbal mess here. That's fine. That's fine. We're good. Hibiscus. Let's put a little hibiscus in here. Ooh, that's going to turn it blood red. All right. Valerian is last because Valerian is stinky. I will put a cinnamon stick in my mug. That I will do. There we go. Cinnamon stick. Boom. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit of yarrow. Ta-da. Like so. Beautiful. And then we're going to put a little bit of echinacea. Like so. Okay. Then we're going to put a little bit of rose petals. Okay. And then we're going to top that off with some stinky valerian. But you know what? It's really good for you. It may stink, but once it's a tea, it's actually really, really delicious. Ugh. The stench just hits you right in your nostrils. Whew. Stinky feet. Okay. Put my little manatee there. Looks like this, by the way. He's all ready to go. Oh, yes. Yes, yes. Thank you. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Okay, let me get a little dish together so we could start putting together a little incense. Okay. So I have this cool bowl that actually I got from this girl who makes them on Etsy. I got it like 20 years ago, but um, really lovely for putting some magical dealy bobs in here. Ooh, I forgot almost one more thing for my tea over here. I do collect storm water, and we still have a little bit of storm water left, and I run it through this like cheesecloth to kind of get all the bugs and dirt out of it, but I'm gonna put a little bit of that in my tea as well, because a little storm water is always really good for my internal storm, right? A little storm water will do ya. All right, well, we're just gonna wait a little while for this to take a little steepy. But while that steeps, let's freaking make an incense, eh? So, okay, let me look at your comments here. Let's see. Lilith says, Willow Bark will soothe the pain, not too shabby. I've made Mary Jane tea before too. It's quite effective. Really? I've never had Mary Jane tea. Perhaps I will make some this evening. We shall see. I also have the magical fungi, and I have yet to make that into a tea. If any of you have made a magical fungi tea, do let me know how that went and how did you do that? Okay. John says that looks more like a dugong to me. Yeah. Well, I guess it kind of is. I think it is more of a dugong, but I don't know. Everybody just puts the blanket term manatee on them. Plus, it goes with tea, so they just wanted to name it manna tea. Ha 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 ha. And Time Harvest says that's a whole magic potion right there. It sure is. Dude. I mean, if you look right here, do you know how many herbal allies are right here? We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 herbal allies, which is a magical number. That is the number of abundance, plus the cards that I pulled for myself this morning, which it was like the 6 of coins, and then there was an abundance card, and it was all about like giving, giving, giving. So I'm sure I am ready to receive their giving. So thank you, Herbie friends. And also thank you, Lilith. I'm sure it's going to be quite magical. Lilith says, I can just feel how you are about to feel, and it's super serene. Nice. And Time Harvest says, turn you into a magic witch princess. Oops, you already are. Aw, thank you. Lilith says, giggles, it's an extended recipe, but hits the right spot. Yes, using the leftovers of the plant you don't use to inhale, so to speak, still has the crystals that could be absorbed through a tea. Really? Oh, dude. I'm going to try that out. And John says, the great thing about cooking with mushrooms is that they're pretty heat stable. Okay. Because I have some magical fungi that a friend had given me, and he doesn't really know much about them, so he got them from a friend who makes them in his backyard or something in his little greenhouse, and so he gave me a bunch of dried ones in a like a little, and so I've had 1 or 2, but I haven't really like used them. And some of them are like kind of dust, they're powdery. It's not like, they're not like whole anymore. And I thought, well, I can make a tea out of it, but I wasn't sure like how much you put in the tea. And, cause I'm not really to like peer into, 11 different universes all at the same time, like not quite ready for that. But maybe for the next layer of expansion and understanding myself, yes, but not ready to like watch myself like melt into the walls, Lilith says, 9 is also the number of endings and magic in the 3s. Yes. And Time Harvest says, am I the only one who found shrooms lame? It just makes me very happy, funny, nauseous, and a bit sick, sort of. Slow, out of control. That's about it. It made me reflect a bunch too. And John says, got them from a friend who got them from a friend who got them from another who got them from their mom. That's kind of how it went, John. Yes. Lilith says, but I mean, you're sipping the tea slowly so you can feel it coming up, I guess. And Time Harvest says, at one point in the trip, I felt like a big lion cat. Well, I think that's kind of what people get from them. I mean, they're really meant for you to be super reflective. I mean, some people get visuals, some people do not, I guess. Some people get really nauseous, others don't. I am one who gets extremely nauseous. So I start throwing up, but I'm happy while I'm throwing up. I'm like, wow, oh my God, my vomit is so beautiful. Look at the pattern. John says, dosing can be trickly directly from the fungus. Mm-hmm. And Lilith says, I went on an inner journey through the chakras. It was magic. Grateful for bodily functions. It was in combination with Mary Jane, though. Wow. Well, hey, you know, I love connecting to my plant friends, and I always have been. It's not like this is just a thing since I was an adult. Like since I was a little kid, I was always like brewing something. You know, I'd find like weeds and grass and like pieces from like people's plants and trees, and I would like mix it in like a little sand pail and a sand bucket, and I mix it all up and say that I was making tea, and sometimes I would say I'm making my stew. And you know, I'd add water and mud to it, and I'd mix it all up, and then I try to force people to try to eat it. And but it was always just like, it was just fun, like touching the different plants and seeing how they felt in like my little kid hands, and all the different colors, and how some felt more thick, you know, than others, and others felt more delicate. And I don't know, I don't know, I've always kind of had a thing for herbs, you know, plants. So, okay, let's make our 2025 incense blend. So the intention that I want behind this blend is something that either we could burn now, we can burn it throughout December, we could burn it on New Year's, we could burn it maybe whenever we need it for a little bit more release of 2025. But I want the incense to help us to reflect on the year and the ways that we need to reflect so that we can heal and grow and release, so that we have a more understanding of some of the situations and the things that happened to us this year, so we can understand them, have this perspective, release them with gratitude and love, so that we don't harbor or hold on to anything as we enter into a brand new year. So that's the intention. So if you guys have certain energies you want to add into this, let me know the energy in like one word or a simple phrase if you can, and I'll try to find the herb that matches it. Or if you know of an herb and you're like, I want this herb in 2025, like incense blend, then let me know, and I probably have the herb and we'll just put it in here. So I know that Lilith had said we needed lavender. She was feeling kind of some of that lavender. And I know I have lavender. Here is lavender. So let's put a little bit of lavender, but you guys let me know. Start putting that in the chat. And let's start making this incense blend. Okay, so, oh, it smells so good. Okay, so we have a little bit of lavender. Boom. It's going in. Close that up. Oops. Guess I'll put this one. All right, there. Just gonna get some of these out of the way. Okay. Doot, doot. Okay, what else are you guys thinking? John says, they've been helping me with moods. I've been more even keeled and less likely to drink more than just a couple of beers at a time. I have found that there's like psychologists and stuff are starting to use more of, you know, some of the psychedelics to help like regulate people's moods, to help with people who are, you know, affected with like PTSD, people who are having troubles dealing with depression, that it's really helping people to release and to create new neural pathways in their brain so that they can like work with what's going on in the present. So there isn't a lot of dwelling. So it's not a take this and then ignore what's you know what the root issue is, or like what the shadow is, or you know where that pain is actually coming from, but it's they're using it to help people to kind of do a bit of shadow work, actually, to kind of work through things while keeping their mood stable, so they can heal through that stuff, and then eventually, you know, not really needing it, because you know a lot of it isn't, it's not really addictive, so it's not like, oh, I have to take, you know, freaking DMT every day, you know. They can't do that. So so they give them just enough so they can do a little bit more work, they do a little bit more healing, and then they've noticed that, you know, after a few sessions, and you know the people are off of whatever medications they've been taking from, you know, psychiatrists or other doctors, and you know people have been doing really well. So the studies are going great. I think it's Ibogaine, or Ibogaine, I forget how it's pronounced. They like okayed it in Texas for doctors to use it on veterans and people suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, and it's been going really well. So I know that there's a lot to plant medicine. And it's like only now in our modern era they're like, hey, you know what? I think sometimes those plants could be helpful. It's like, oh, really? um, let's see. So that's awesome, John. And Lilith says maybe rose for inner divine feminine goddess. Ooh, anything with rose, I'm all about. So yeah, I second you on that, because I was going to put in rose for myself anyway into this incense blend. And John was saying for weeks after taking them. That's awesome. That is so cool. And then Lilith was like, maybe we can pull herb oracle cards to help us. Ooh, we could. I don't have my herbal oracle decks on hand, but if one of you does, maybe you can help pull us some cards. So I'm going to put in a little bit of rose. But you guys, let me know what other energy do you think of when you think of 2025? Or maybe healing energy. Okay, I put a little bit of rose in there. Let's see. What would I put in? Let's see. Well, let's see. I'm just kind of like looking through my herbs right now. What would I put in? Huh. I know. Okay, so this is thyme that has been dried, and it was given to Riley and I from a friend of ours that lives in Idlewild. So this is from that trip, and I was thinking of in Back to the Future, you know, where the DeLorean, the license plate says out of time. Time doesn't exist, out of time, get it? You know what we need, just for some funsies, let's put in some thyme. So I'll take a, ooh, smells fantastical. Okay, little bit of thyme, a little bit'll do ya. Okay, I'll put that there. Let's see, what else? What else? Ooh, here's a really clearing herb, sage. Let's sage that. Okay, so we have lavender, has a bit of strength. Rose has some of that inner goddess energy, heart-centered energy. Thyme, well, we're out of time. You know, there is no time. But also thyme is really cleansing as well. And it's also very protective. So I'm put a little bit of sage, which has some similar properties, not exactly the same, but similar. Lilith, or sorry, John says, I like rose hips, but citrus is also nice for some extra sunshine. Ooh, okay. Let's see. Rose hips, and let me see if I have some citrus on the other side. Okay, let me get some rose hips. And then let me see if I have anything citrusy in here. Okay, my little hippies. Where are you? There you are. Okay, citrus, citrus, citrus. I know I have a citrusy type plant. Ah, here we are. Osmanthus. Okay. Rose hips. Let's do 2 for balance. Okay, we have a couple of rose hips going in for some balance. And then this kind of does have a citrusy, peachy taste to it. It's very hard to explain, but this is called Osmanthus. So I don't have any dried like orange or lemon peel on me, but it does smell like peaches. It smells like peaches. Peaches and citrus. Let's put a little bit of that in there. Bring in the sunshine. Okay. I love it. Okay, you go right there. Okay. Let's see. And then Lilith was also thinking of rosemary and hibiscus. Ooh, John's like, now I want some butter mango. Ooh, I want some butter mango. What the heck? You're going to make me hungry. Okay, rosemary. Okay. Rosemary's here. Not Rosemary's baby, but Rosemary. Okay. I wish we had smell-o-vision. It smells like pizza and lasagna to me. Okay. Rosemary, very, very protective energy. Also good for love, for healing, memory recall, actually. That's pretty good. And hibiscus, yes. Hibiscus also for reflection, helping you to reflect, opening your third eye, your mind, and also for love, more heart space. I'm feeling a lot of heart space, like we're needing some heart healing as we exit 2025 for the things that we have loved and lost, left behind, outgrown. Lemongrass, that's something I need more of. However, I know I have lemon balm around here somewhere. Lemon balm, where are you? Show your face. I like your face. There's chaga mushrooms, chamomile, lemon balm. Ah, there we go. Lemon balm, really good for calm your nerves, calmate. Also good for prosperity. Calms frantic emotions, helps to strengthen the spirit and the heart. So lemon balm, let's get a little bit of you. And I need to get more lemongrass actually, because I'm out from my little herbal shop. That's actually on my little herby list. I have a very long list. I can't get everything I want right now, but a little at a time. John says, I want to remember the good times and be able to see how I've grown this past year. This so looks good to me. Okay, so something else that for really, really good reflection. Okay, let me just like put my hand over my herbs and see. Good for reflection, good for reflection. And that's more healing, more healing. I want some reflection though. Ooh. Chamomile, reflection. Yes. Smells like apples. All right. That's a good one. I also, ooh, there's one other thing I want to add. Hold on, it's over here. Uh, it's from some flowers I dried a while back. Actually, what else do I have over here? Okay, I got berries, I got basil, I got fennel, angelica root, osho. Okay. Lily. So lilies, I think, are really good for purity, for peace, for death and rebirth. So I'm not going to put this whole flower in here, but I will put a little bit of the leaf in here. That'll be good. All right, well, let me give this a little mix. Let's break up this lily just a little bit. Lila says, take a second for a sip. Oh, I will. I just wanted some more steeping just because I have a whole cinnamon stick in there. And John said, I was saying, I can already see how this is going to be great for it. Got any dried apple? I do not. I'm out of my dried bits, like bits of fruit. So apple, orange, and lemon, I am out of. I'm going to have to eat some more of those fruits so that I could dry them, but I am out of them for now. I'm just breaking up the thyme right now. I'm breaking up thyme. If I could turn back time, I would find a way. Okay. Ooh, that looks so good. It smells amazing. If 2025 had a smell, I'm pretty sure that's how it would smell. Okay, so let me have a sip of my little special noontime tea. Oh, that's going to feel good. Mm. Mm. That's very good. Actually, the taste isn't that bad. It's actually pretty good. I think I put in enough echinacea that it tastes pretty good. Mm. Mm. That's lovely. Time Harvest says 2026 smells like richness. Says Atlas was a really big nothing burger, right? Atlas? Oh, sorry. I was like, wait, Atlas? I was thinking of, never mind, the Roman Atlas. Yeah, no, 3i Atlas. I don't feel like it's a nothing burger. I mean, in terms of like, whoa, did we like start seeing saucers come out of the sky? I don't feel it was that, but I felt like a lot of people received like new coding, downloads, upgrades. Wow, now my left ear is ringing. But I felt like it was a shift, very subtle. Some people had more vivid dreams. Some people had dreams about being on 3i Atlas, and then there was like these other objects now that have entered out of nowhere, and it was just like, oh hey, now we got other objects that are even bigger than 3i Atlas. So I feel like a lot of this stuff happening in our solar system is really just a reflection of what's going on inside of each of us as individuals. And now it's just kind of being reflected, but we're not like ready for like War of the Worlds. I don't think that's ever going to happen, but it's more like it's slowly being integrated into our everyday and our collective consciousness. Like, this is cool. Okay. This is okay. And it's like little by little. So it's a very gentle feel, kind of like that chamomile that I put in there. John says, mine would smell like socks with holes in them. Nice. Well, you know what? Valerian. That if that's how you want your 2025 to smell. Holy socks. um, let's see. Time of harvest says it sure has done a little something in our subconscious, but physically speaking, nothing really. Yeah, it's very subtle. I don't think physically it was like a whole like wowza, you know. Okay, so I'm going to bring our incense blend over. I'm also going to bring our tea. I will be right back, my friends. I'm going to go back over to our little here. And we can burn some incense. I'll burn a little now, and I might save the rest for New Year's. I don't know. Okay. All right. I have the computer, and I have you guys. What more do I need? Okay, do I have everything? Do I have my brain? Maybe. Okay. And we're back. Ha. Okay, so let's plug this baby back in. And I'm gonna lift you guys up. I lift you on high. Whoa, a little high. I lift you guys too high. Okay. Da, da, da. Lilith is like, holy socks. Holy socks, Batman. John says, better stop with the hearts before she comes back. Lilith says, how will you be burning the herbs? Actually, on my little, I have a little charcoal disc, so I'll do that. John's like, don't want her to see. Okay. So I'm going to have a little bit more of that tea because nice. Okay. And then the activities are going to be taking place here. So I'm going to light this candle like so. And then I'm going to get out my little mini incense sensor thingamajiggy. Excuse me. And I'm going to get a charcoal. Do. Okay. I'm pulling out one of our little charcoal discs and I'm going to light her up. Okay. Charcoal disc. Check. Put that back over yonder. Okay. We are going to light the disc on this flame. Ooh, it's getting sparkly. Very nice. Okay, I'm just getting the charcoal nice and hot. So it'll be burning and ready to go for our little herby friends. Okay, that seems pretty hot. All right, my charcoal is there and it's hot. Okay, I'll put that like that. All right, let's bring you guys in a little more close. Okay, I'm going to actually put this here like that. All right. So again, with this blend, our intention is to help us to have perspective, to aid in our growth and understanding with all the things that occurred in our lives, our individual lives, this past year, 2025, so that we may grow in love and in gratitude while we release this energy fully. Okay, so we're going to take a little bit. I'm just going to put that on my burner there. I'm going to put one of the rose hips as well. Oh, that smells so good. Oh my goodness. It smells great. Lilith's like, you raised me up so I can stand on mountains. And Mike says, got to go. Good night and God bless you all. Same to you, Mike. Lots of love to you, my friend across the pond. If you guys just want to take a minute and just like soak that in, I'll even bring it up. Oh. Yes. Just let that hit all the chakras inside and out. Etheric body, physical body, mental, emotional, all the subtle energies. That smells wonderful. What a beautiful release. John was wondering if my malachite skull has a name. They have quite the presence. Yes, actually, I haven't called them out by name in a while, but well, if I lift this up, you see my little skulls here. So this is Sophos. That one's actually pink hemimorphite. I have Eddie, Edward. Edward is my agate skull, and he sleeps on a little bag because he's kind of off kilter, but he's got all kinds of druzy inside his head. But yeah, he just stays on his little pillow. And then I believe this was this Christopher? This might have been Christopher. But yeah, he's a nice malachite guy. But yeah, so Christopher. And then we have Jean-Luc. Yes, like Picard. He's a chevron amethyst. So that's Jean-Luc. And then I have Freddie. Freddie is my pyrite. And then, oh gosh, not Ethan. He has another E name, but I haven't worked with my dragon in a while. But he's actually Indigo Gabbro, so he's Merlinite. Gosh, he wasn't Eddie. He's not Ethan. I forgot his name. So sorry, little guy. I forgot your name. And then, okay, so my aragonite dragon, he's just known as Daddy because he's huge. So, so this is Daddy. His name is in Spanish too. It's like really freaking me out that I can't remember his name. Maybe it's because it's time for him to have a new name. Is it because you didn't like your name? Is that why? I think he didn't like his name. I think he's ready for a new name. It's kind of like in certain cultures, like Native American culture, Japanese culture. I don't know if other cultures do it, but there's like a naming ceremony. When you hit a certain age, it's time for a new name. And maybe it's just time for him to have a new name. What name would you guys give him? That incense is burning so good too. I love the smell. Let me just stir it up a little bit. Ooh. There we go. Burn yourself in a good way. So good. Okay. Let's see. John said, orchid agate. And it says, yeah, I'm bad with names. I'm sure all the crystals in my care roll their eye sockets at me. Yeah, I'm just like, I'm bad with remembering people's names, but I know, like, I named like all, well, I haven't had a lot of cars, but like I've named my vehicles. I name my crystal skulls. I name the stuffed animals that mean a lot to me. I name my guns. I name my swords. I name my guitars. I don't know. It's like things that I like really connect with. I feel like I have to give it a name. I haven't named my flute yet, though. I'm still working on that one. Like, it takes me time to like come up with a name. Like, I really have to feel into it. What is this down here? Oh, this is when the doggos ate some of my offerings. You know what? That should go into the incense blend too. Naughty doggos. This tea is really good, by the way. Thank you, Lilith. I actually am starting to feel a lot better. Oh, I remember your name now. You just didn't like it, I guess. It wasn't Eddie, it was Ernie for Ernesto. Ah, okay. Well, maybe you want a different name, but I don't know. Maybe he didn't want to be Ernie. That's fine. Okay. Well, if you guys want, we could continue with doing super chats and super stickers. But if not, maybe this is a wonderful time to start going into our channel guided meditation. John says, your friend should be called tortilla, as in flautas. Oh, I could call him flauta. Tortilla. Tortita. Oh my gosh, that'd be awesome. He says, I don't know if I spelled that correctly. No, that's fine. Flautas. Oh my gosh. Do you want to be Nino Flauta? Really? Do you want to be little tortilla? Tortito? Ah, okay. Like in English or Espanol? I think we're going to go with flauta. Okay. I think he liked that better than Ernie. Okay. That's him. This is flautas. Every time I think about him, I'm going to be hungry. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. So if you guys are ready, well then, yeah, let's do our channel guided meditation. Oh, we do have a super chat, super sticker. Woohoo! Our buddy John. Okay, so let me scooch you back here. There we are. Ta-da! Okay. So John, yeah, let me know what you would like me to look into, a question that you may have. Just getting everything resituated. And this is just, it's just smelling so good. I wish you guys could smell. Smelly vision. It smells great. Okay, let me grab a deck to use. How about this one? The Walking Meditation Tarot. I think that will be a great one, since we're going to be going into a meditation after our super chats and super stickers. And I continue to sip on my tea. Oh, and then Lilith also sent a PayPal. Oh, okay. I see. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So we have Lilith, and then we got our buddy John. And John was wondering, would Little Flauta be okay giving me a message? Sure. Yeah, we could do that. And then Lilith, just let me know what question you have, and I'll get you, and then we'll get John. Okay. I'm just going back and looking at some of your comments. Two separate questions? Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Totally cool. Just go ahead and post them up. And I'll get these all nice and shuffled up. Okay. So this is the Walking Meditation Tarot. This is also by Danielle Norman. I just really like her art. I think she did a great job. Okay, so, and Time Harvest said, meow. Lila says, what's on the horizon in Louvre? Okay, well, let's have a little sippy. And see if we get anything on Spiritual Radio FM. Okay, I can't really sing this song because I'm not even sure what the words are to this song. I think it's in German, actually. But it's, I think it's, the name of the group is Bubbles. I'm not sure, but it's Biddy Bow Bo. Dear, 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 being down, bro, the big bob, the baby, the bob, it's like, it's just like a lot of rave music, but it's like Biddy Badu or something, I think is the name of the song. Yeah, the group, not sure. I think it's called Bubbles. I'm probably way off on the name of the group, but Biddy Badu, I know that's the name of the song. Okay. Let's see what Biddy Badu, because to me that's just like what does that have to do with love? Now it's just playing in my head. I wish I could sing it, but you know, it's techno. So oh, hey, 8 of Wands. Love that. Just kind of like the song, because the song's very, it's like fast paced, like, and it's kind of like what the 8 of Wands is. Just like, come in, hey, bitty bada. Lilith is like, that's really funky. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that song. First time I ever heard it was actually in the movie Super Troopers. Anyway, I'm just going to be bouncing to that for a little while. Okay. Lilith, Phoenix, love, Biddy Badu, 8 of Wands. Okay, interesting. Okay, so what I was getting was there's some potential around, it seems like a lot of stuff's happening for people around February and March, because that's where I was getting like a lot of people's readings, but it seems like the same for you, somewhere around February and March. Maybe there's a whole collective shift at that time. But February, March, I don't feel like it's the, and then me and this guy at the supermarket touched the same apple that we were going to grab from the produce section. Like, it's not quite like that. too hallmarky. But it's more like somebody that you may kind of it's difficult to say because it's like you know this person in person, but then it's like they're online too. So it's like online and in person. So maybe you meet them online, but then you also meet them in person. But it's I don't feel like they have to travel far. I feel like they live near you. And it's like you just so happen like, oh my gosh, like I know where that store is. Like let's, um, but there isn't any preconceived notion like, oh my gosh, this is the one. And I don't feel like the guy is like, Lilith is the one, this girl that I've been speaking to online that, I find out lives in the same city I do. Um, but it's like over time kind of quickly like of just like you guys like talking to each other, you like messaging each other, then it's like phone calls to each other, then it's like okay, then we kind of hang out sometimes, and it's just like really natural when you guys are hanging out, like there's no like, oh my gosh, I wonder if he like thinks I look okay or that my hair looks good. He's not like worried about how he's dressed or anything. It's like you're best friends, but also there's something there, like not best friends, but like you're becoming really, really good friends. You feel really comfortable with each other. And it's like this just easy progression, kind of into something more. Um, but yeah, it's not like he was looking for something and you were looking for something. It's just feels like this easy progression. Like, I really like talking to her and I really like talking to him. And, it's like a really like, kind of sharing ideas, and and maybe we could hang out sometime. And then once we hung out, it wasn't weird. It was actually pretty cool. I want to hang out with this person again, and the feeling is mutual. But I feel like it starts to kind of progress from there, and it's like up to your free will after that. But well, I mean, all of it's your free will, um, but yeah, I feel like it's somehow somebody who's in your like the same town that you live in, but also you're talking online, but also you get to meet in person somehow, or it's like vice versa, meet in person and then talk online, or talk online and then meet in person. But somehow there's an online factor and an in-person factor. Um, but this person doesn't live too far from you. But again, I'm kind of feeling like this in the February to March time frame. So yeah, but I do feel this Eight of Wands because it feels like it progresses so smoothly, so quickly. Not like, oh, I wonder if this guy is going to be like interested in dating me. Like it's no, it's just so natural to where it's like, well, you know what? I guess we're dating now. Cool. It's yeah, there's no putting on airs at all. Um, Melissa says, that sounds perfect. Like, yeah, I like the feeling of that. It's just, not having to worry, like, I gotta get all dolled up for a date, and then we're worried about, making good first impressions. It's like, no, we weren't even thinking about that. We were just like, this is a cool person and I like talking to them. And then you realize that you like talking to this really cool person so much that, you know what, I think I'm actually pretty attracted to this pretty cool person that I like talking to so much. And then, you know, so yeah, I mean, I dig that. I dig that. And then Lola says, two different readers have found themselves irritated with the energy of my paternal figure, and I wanted to hear your take on that situationship. Ah, okay. So, okay, the paternal figure, and when you hear it, okay, so the situationship, nice, on the paternal figure. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look into that, and then we'll take a look into John, who is going to have Flauta bring in a little message for him. So I'm going to sit him next to the incense because that's still going. Just going to give that a little shuffle on me. There we go. Get it smoking again. Okay. Boy, I've been watching you like a hawk in the sky. And no, and you are my prey. If I promise you that you keep bumping heads, I know that one of these days. um, Gosh, who sings that? Oh man, her name is on the tip of my tongue, but that song is coming in. Won't you stay at the door? I do, and you're not good. Do 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 do. Won't you stay? Do 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 do. I think it had Timberland in that song, but the lead singer, or the only female singer in there, but it's her and Timberland singing in the song. Interesting, but it's very, I don't know, as I'm tapping into this paternal figure, almost like irresponsible, like feeling responsible, but also irresponsible at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense. It's like a obligation, like my heart's not into it, but I'm obligated to do so. But I would rather be irresponsible, but I'm being held responsible. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's pull a card on that. Aaliyah. Thank you, Silver Star Priestess. Oh, hey. Hello, by the way. So yes, Lilith, it is Aaliyah. Aaliyah and Timberland. Baby girl, I said, hey, baby girl, what? Okay. Ooh, we have the 7 of Wands. Interesting. I did shuffle this deck quite a bit, so the 7 and the 8 shouldn't have been close to each other, but that's interesting. From this paternal figure, I keep feeling as though it's like this person is their own worst enemy. Like causing problems when there shouldn't be problems. It's like if you were like, could you make me a tea or something? And then this person is like, why do I have to make the tea? How come you can't make your own tea? And then there's this argument, it's like making something out of nothing. Like, why are you trying to argue? But not just with you. I feel like this is just this person's energy. And it's almost like a chip on the shoulder thing. It could be some program beliefs that like people always need to be arguing, people always fighting with me. So they need to create that type of almost chaotic environment where people are arguing, people just don't get along, people just don't understand me, and I don't want to feel like responsible for this, but it's like I feel forced. So it's, I don't know, it's almost kind of like a little kid energy. Not little kid, teenage boy energy. You can't tell me what to do. Causing problems, and there doesn't need to be problems. And Silver Star says, oh, hey, I've been lurking. So yeah, that's kind of the energy that I'm getting off of this paternal figure. Is just someone who's causing problem for no reason. Not huge problems, just like little, like why making things difficult for themselves and difficult for the people around them, because that's what they're used to. And they don't even realize they're doing it. They think the world is just difficult, but really they create the difficult situations for themselves. But yeah, just kind of like, I don't know, maybe that's why I'm hearing the Aaliyah song kind of playing, because it's, I don't know, almost like trying to turn a boy into a man. It's like, you got to grow up a little bit. Kind of an immature attitude, but in an older person. Yes, like a 4-year-old toddler. Yes, but I'm getting more like the rebellious teenage vibes, but interesting. Yeah, so I hope that makes sense. Seems like they got some work to do, some things to work through. Um, right now it's like me versus, or, if I was the person, it's like me versus the world. The world's always like trying to complicate my life and always trying to complicate things. I don't understand why I have to be responsible for this thing. Why are you making me do this thing? And it's like, at some point we got to grow up, um, so yeah, okay. Well, hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so let me go back to what you guys were saying. So Silver Star was just lurking. Well, lurk away, my friend. Yes, and then we're gonna be jumping into Flauta's message. Sorry, Silver Star had done her PayPal, and then John had done his super chat. So now we're gonna be going into Flauta's message for John. So John, you are right on time. And Lilith says, right on the money, shit stir. um, and Silver Star has been decompressing after work. That tea sure sounds yummy, and the incense. And John says, no, that's good. I didn't want to miss it. Thank you, Lilith. All right. So, and Lilith says, so what's my lesson? So with this one, it was just the thinking about the rebellious teenager in you. That we all have one somewhere in there, and it actually connects to like some of the readings that I was doing for my Patreon friends, and we were talking about like the inner teenager, and it feels like maybe this is coming up in the collective people's inner teenager, but this person definitely highlights that the inner rebellious teenager. You're not my mom. You can't tell me what to do. I'm just like causing problems because like the world is so problematic. And maybe you aren't to that extreme, but somewhere in there we have that little rebellious teenager that's very much the like, the world is against me, or maybe a Smashing Pumpkins song, the world is a vampire. Sent to jail. So it's so when you can go in and tap into her, the one with a little bit of a rebellious streak, but not the cool rebellious streak, the rebellious streak where maybe have in the past, perhaps a long time ago, made things harder for yourself than they had to be. When you go back, forgive little teenage version of you, however old you were, and just like, hey, you didn't quite understand all of that, how energy worked, and and that sometimes we make our own problems. Well, I forgive you. I send you love, healing. Have a little chit chat with her, and help her to release that. And as she does, then people who surround you that also have that energy, it's very hard for them to, number one, stick around you. And if they do stick around, they're not going to be so problematic for you because you're just not connected to that energy anymore. So they might be there, but it doesn't really bother you. It's like, oh, you again? Oh, whatever. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so John, let's take a look into Flauta and his little message for you. Okay. Okay. Let's tap in. Maybe he'll have some music. Maybe he'll have a good movie for us. I don't know. What do you want to share with John? He helped you come up with your really cool name. Okay, well, it's interesting. It's not a, whoa, that's weird. I went to raise my arm. I could have sworn somebody was sitting right here and I was bumping into them. It was weird. Maybe that was Flauta's energy. I still kind of feel it. Let me get back on track here. Help me out, Flauta. So what I was seeing was almost, so it wasn't a song really, it was more like a visual, like I was doing a body scan on you, where I kind of look inside people's bodies to kind of see where people have issue. And it was like this a golden yellow tube that was going into your right lung. And then it was coming up and it was like coming out. So it was like this, but it wasn't like a real tube. It was like an energetic tube. It was like feeding into your lung and then it was coming out your mouth, and it was feeding into your lung and coming out your mouth. So kind of like the reverse, I guess, of a feeding tube, or something like that. It's like, um, and it was talking about this, that you've done a lot of work on the feminine energy. That there's just been so much work that you've been doing for years, and a lot of it was through the divine feminine, that you've been working with like ancestral energy and how you've been doing your healing and stuff. It was not to say that the divine masculine was nowhere to be found. It was in there, but the main energy that you've been working through and healing with and honoring and trying to tap in with yourself, with your intuition and your emotions, and you do it with your cooking and things like that, is the divine feminine. But it's showing that this, wow, I really feel like, I feel it in my lung. I feel like there is a tube in my lung right now, and it's kind of uncomfortable, but I can feel it like in my neck and everything. It's so weird. Wow, this is a very visceral reading. This is very, very powerful little stone here. This is like the divine masculine era that you're going into. Not like January 1st, boom, John's going to be working on divine masculine. But it's like, just prepare for, that's like the other half that we're going to be working on. We're going to be working through a lot of what was difficult for your father to work through for your uncles, for your grandfather, your great grandfather, your great great grandfather. Like, you're going through the whole masculine lineage, the masculine of your past lives, because obviously in every past life we weren't always the same gender, but going into the masculine of your past lives and the masculine of this life. And now that you've really felt into this feminine, the feminine now is going to shed light onto the masculine, so it's easier for you to see where it is you want to bring more balance into that. And I feel like the reason I'm feeling it in my lung is because, our beliefs and our past are usually what give us the breath that we have here in the present. But perhaps it's time to take a look at what's been giving you that breath. Could you change it? Could you get a more oxygenated breath if you were to change your belief? Would it be a pure breath, a deeper breath? If you were to look more deeply, because that breath that you've been taking in, that life force from those beliefs, from your paternal side, as well as all the male versions that you've been in the past, are what you're speaking into existence in the present. And so you've done a lot of work on that feminine, but now it's time to look into the masculine. Wow, I still feel it in my lung. Wow, that was kind of major. I don't think that during a live chat reading have I physically felt somebody sitting next to me where I felt like I was bumping into them. I thought that the dog was here for some reason. I was like, oh, did I just hit Vader? Sorry. Okay, there's nobody here. But yeah, I still feel like there is a tube in my lung coming up the side of my neck and out my mouth. Like, that's an interesting feeling. But it just means that it's something that's very major for you that you're going to be going into. So hope that makes sense. um, let's see. Lilith's like, he's like, thanks, John, for the renaming me finally. And John's like, I get physical presences like that when I do readings. That's great. The lungs. Wow. So I was feeling what you feel, like, whoa. I'm more a very visual and auditory person. I rarely like feel so visceral. I mean, I feel, but like, so that was interesting getting to feel like you. That's, wow, pretty cool. All right, Flauta. Thank you for passing that on to John. Hopefully you find that message helpful. I'm going to put him right there. I'm going to re-stir our incense. Looks like our coal is still nice and hot. I'm going to go back and probably watch my own replay so I could remember. I think I have on the counter the herbs that I used, just so I could put that into the description for people who like the recipes that I put in there. Whew, my goodness, I feel like we need this after those big readings. It's like they got way more intense towards the end of this live chat here. Okay. Let's see. Lilith says, hope the tea is supporting you in all the right ways. It is. I feel a lot better. I feel way more calm. I feel probably why, wow, maybe this is really good for doing readings, because maybe that's why the readings got so much more intense, is because I'm just like, I'm not feeling like all the pain right now. I'm a little bit more calm. John says, I hold my breath a lot, have had issues with speaking my truths. They were trapped in. I've also I've been having an awareness of my throat and breath lately. Too many words in the last one. So, wow. Okay. It feels like, well, that's the next major thing that's getting worked on, because it was the divine masculine where a lot of that healing as it pertains to the breath and what you speak is hiding in the masculine. The masculine is needing some help with that. And sometimes it's interesting because, stereotypically speaking, people would say that, oh, sometimes it's the feminine in us that feels small, and it doesn't feel like it can speak up. It feels like it's overshadowed by the masculine. That's not always the case. Sometimes it's the masculine that just it has a hard time trying to iterate what it's trying to say, to get across its point, to speak up and feel heard, or feel like we're making a difference by saying what we need to say. And a lot of that is with our breath and our breathing. It gives us life, and what we speak things into life. So sometimes we're afraid to speak things into life, but then we stifle our own breath by doing so. So yay, Flauta, thank you so much for helping out John. And John says thank you. All right. So let's go ahead and get into our guided meditation. I'm going to move my little lappy top off to the side here. I'm going to finish off the rest of this tea because it is quite delicious. Good stuff. Thank you so much, Lilith. Yeah, this time we're not going to forget Flauta's name. I think it's too unique of a name for me to forget. That's really, 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 really good tea. Okay, so move this off to the side. Thank you to everybody who allowed me to read for them. It's always an honor. And I'm going to go just like this. I'm going to re-up our little incense here. Perhaps put a little bit more incense on it, just a touch. Oops. There we go. I'm going to use this one. There we go. That one had a lot more lavender on it. Ooh, smells amaze balls. Okay. All right, you guys, go ahead and find yourselves a nice, comfortable space. A place you'll be undisturbed for the next several minutes. You could be laying in your bed, sitting in a chair, sitting on a pillow on the floor, or perhaps seated outside underneath your favorite tree. Sitting in a place that is most comfortable for you. Go ahead and bring your awareness to your breath, just feeling the rise and fall of your chest, just noticing its rhythm, where you feel the breath, how deeply or how shallow you feel that breath. And we're just noticing. That is all. And in a moment, I'm going to count down from 10 to 1. And as I do, you will begin to feel more and more relaxed, more and more at peace. When we get to 1, we are going to find that strength within so that we could bring it into our conscious awareness and allow it to stay with us as we move into the final month of 2025. 10. Begin to feel your shoulders fall away from your ears. 9. The spine begins to relax, starting to feel the facial muscles soften. 8. Feeling perhaps your feet fall away, your hands falling to your sides. 7. Maybe your eyes begin to flutter as they soften and close, feeling more and more at peace. 6. 5. Feeling the breath begin to slow, feeling that tension just melt away. 4. 3. Feeling total relaxation, such comfort in this present moment, such peace. 3, 2, feeling absolutely relaxed. 1, total peace, total relaxation. Now we are going to look inside of ourselves. Where do you feel your strength? Sometimes it may have been hard to find, but it's in there, perhaps lurking in a part of the body. Perhaps you feel it in your shoulder. Maybe your strength is somewhere in your hip, in your foot. It's somewhere. Find it. When you do, does it have a sensation, a color, a temperature? Does it have a sound? Feel it, listen to it, see it. When you find it, bring that strength up into your awareness, up past your root chakra, your sacral, your solar plexus, the heart, the throat, up into the third eye and the crown. Feeling that strength from head to toe throughout your entire being. What does your strength have to teach you? Why may it have been hidden? Ask it. Or if it was easy to locate, ask it why. Ask your strength where it feels it is needed most. Feel into it. Listen to it. As we come back out of this meditation, I will count again, this time from 1 to 10. When I reach 10, you will be wide awake. But this time, you will bring with you into your conscious existence, your waking life, the knowledge of your strength. It will not be hidden this time. It will be visceral. It will be in every action that you take, every word that you speak, everything that you surround yourself with. It will be in the way that you dress, the foods that you eat, the music that you listen to, and the places that you feel most at peace. 1, you begin to feel the strength moving throughout your entire body. Perhaps you begin to feel tingling. 2, 3, beginning to feel more awareness in your body, perhaps starting down at your toes. 4, 5, beginning to feel the awareness of your throat, of your jaw, your eyes, your muscles. 6, 7, 8, feeling more and more aware. Your breathing becomes more deep. 9, 10, wide awake. Go ahead and have yourself a little stretch. Breathing as deeply as you can. Ooh. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Oop, let me go ahead and open this blind here so it's not so dark in this room. But I had a lot of fun with you guys. I enjoyed being able to create that 2025 herbal incense with you. And thank you to Lilith for helping me out with that tea. That really, really did help. So I'm going to put that in the description, the ingredients for that, the ingredients for our incense. I think I'm going to save the rest of it for like New Year's Eve, New Year's, around that time. Oh, very happy Mondays. Thank you. Thank you. So sending gratitude and blessings for a beautiful week. Wow. Thank you so much for that donation. Thank you. That was really kind of you. Wow. Let's see. Let's go back up here. Wow, my eyes are like, I almost knocked myself out with that meditation. Silver Star says, was it rosemary, rose hips, lavender? That's what I remember. Yeah, there was a lot of that in there. There was lily, there was chamomile. That may have been the other things that were in there. But yes, definitely those other ones. Silver Star says, I might be mixing the tea and incense up though. No. You have it right. That was for the incense. And Lilith says, chamomile, rosemary, thyme. Oh yeah, thyme was in there. Hibiscus. Silver Star says, my work brain is not helping. Well, my brain is asleep now. Lilith says, there was also sage. That's right. Sage was in there. Lemon balm was in there. And Silver Star says, have a beautiful one. I'm going to head out, sending lots of love to you all. Love to you as well. Love to you guys. John says, love you all. Very happy Monday says, much love. Thank you guys so very, very much. Thank you for everybody who allowed me to read for them, everybody who stuck around for the channel guided meditation, for John for helping me to rename my little Merlinite, my Indigo Gabbro here. He is now Flauta. So thank you, thank you. Yeah, I hope you guys have a fantabulous week. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.